Hello and welcome to Season 5, Episode 3 of Les Oderants. I am Dan and I am joined by Ben, James and Fliss. Say hello, Ben, James and Fliss.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Hello. Okay, look, I would like to make a bit of a statement. Dramatic music, etc. No, I want to make a sort of short statement about something that happened since our last episode. On the one hand, I don't want to make a bigger deal out of this than needs be, but on the other hand, I won't just let this go unchallenged. So, about 2 years ago, we reviewed a perfume by an indie perfumer. I won't trouble you with the name of that perfumer or their perfume, and don't bother messaging me because I'm not going to tell you. The perfume got a reasonable review. We were not unkind about the perfume or the perfumer. We made some honest remarks and tried to be encouraging, and we all felt it had been a fair review, and I've actually since listened back to that review, and I stand by it. So fast forward to last week, somewhat out of the blue, this person posted on their Instagram story that it was, and I quote, a privilege and a point of pride for them and their perfume to have been utterly slated by the Perfume Zionist podcast. Now, I take some exception to this. The term Zionist obviously has a very specific and factual meaning, which is simply the belief in Israel's right to exist, and absolutely I do. But that's not what was meant here. The word has been obviously completely maligned recently, and it was meant as a slur. It was a hurtful attempt to suggest that in some way I am complicit or supportive of the Israeli government's actions in Gaza. I am not. I am opposed to war and killing by all people, and the suggestion that I'm supportive of the death of thousands of innocents is offensive and plainly wrong. Also, the suggestion that I slated their perfume because the fact that, and frankly, I'm the only one of the four of us who is Jewish, is utterly laughable. We didn't even slate the bloody perfume. So at the time, I was really incredibly angry about this, but I've now reached a point where I'm sort of just kind of embarrassed for the person, I guess. I think to deliberately represent both what was said by us on the podcast and my beliefs in order to somehow manifest themselves as a victim was really, in my view, incredibly sad. I wrote to the individual explaining this as neutrally as I could, and in response they blocked me. So if anyone's wondering, that does rather reinforce that they were talking about me. Not to toot my own horn, as James would say, but as far as I know, I am the only UK-based Jewish perfume podcaster that has reviewed their work. So quite a niche little sect I'm in there. So I wanted to just read this short statement in case they tuned in again, just so they could hear it directly. If they're listening and would like to get in touch and discuss, I'm actually happy to do so. I would far rather we had a grown-up meeting of the minds than pointless social media psychodrama. But what I am absolutely not prepared to put up with is just complete misrepresentation of me, my views, and the podcast, and everything that goes on here. It is fundamentally wrong, and I'm not fucking standing for it. So, I don't know, guys, if you want to say anything. I don't necessarily want to drag you into all this noise either, but be my guest to say a few words if you would like, and feel free to plead the fifth if you would like also.
I would also like to say something as well, Dan, because having seen the statement that was put on the Instagram story, I went back and listened to the episode as well, and actually it was the opposite of slating. We were very encouraging, and a couple of us said that we really liked the perfume, and then we added some other constructive things around it, but nobody was mean about it at all. I also spoke to the person after the episode was aired, and we had quite a long conversation on Instagram chat, and we had a real laugh about how actually they'd done better than our reviews of Amouage and stuff like that. So and we left on really, really good terms. I was really surprised then for this to be called a Zionist podcast, and I completely understand that you have a very personal it's very hurtful to you personally because you're Jewish. But I found it very hurtful as well because even though I'm not Jewish, I'm also not an apologist for Netanyahu's government in any way, and I don't support, war on any level. So I also reached out to the person and I said, please, I'm really confused about what happened here and how you came to that conclusion. Please get in touch. I'd love to have a proper conversation about it. And they blocked me too. So I don't really know what's going on, but I was really upset by it too. Yeah, obviously not as much as you, Dan, but it was horrible.
I was fucking raging, truth be told. Yeah. But I'm kind of well beyond the point of rage. It's more just that basically I feel pretty embarrassed for the individual. Frankly, it's just such a fucking a stupid thing to have done. But I felt it was important enough to set the record straight. Ben, James, did you have anything you wanted to add before we make a podcast?
I think what you said is elegant, and I shall leave it at
that. Agreed. I think you put it very well, and that's all that needs to be said about it, frankly.
Happy days. Happy fucking days. Right, let's make a podcast then. So, what have we all been wearing this week? Let's start with something that I know everybody has been wearing this week. I know it. So, I got sent something in the post, which was a new unnamed Amouage perfume. They didn't send me a bottle, they sent me a 10 ml kind of travel spray of it, and I checked with Uncle Renault, and he was more than happy.
I'm just laughing because wasn't that the guy? No, it was Rene, wasn't it?
Rene Artois.
Oh, Renault.
Hey, fun fact.
Hello.
Right. So this is absolutely fucking true. The policeman in that, the guy who would
was pissing by the door.
Yeah. Just pissing by. Yeah. So he's called Arthur Bostrom. And I know this because he has a brother called Dave Bostrom, who I used to work with.
Amazing.
Absolutely surreal. And they look identical. I'm not sure, they may even have been twins.
Is that your favourite claim to fame, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely. I have several sort of really B, C, D level brushes with fame, nothing kind of like Tom Cruise A-list. It's all like, I think B is probably overstating it somewhat. It's real F-listy type stuff, that, isn't it? But I worked with the brother of the policeman from Allo Allo. So,
amazing.
Uncle Renault, or Rene, Uncle Renault said it was more than fine for me to share this with you. So I carefully got me little pipette out. It's quite a nice word. Pipette.
Some people say pipette, don't they?
No, they don't.
Wrong.
They do.
There's pipette.
They fucking do. Loads of people.
Twats.
Nobody who actually works in science does. So
I know they're wrong, aren't they? But I've heard people say pipette before.
Wow. That fucking terrible pipette. Anyway, so I got me pipette out. I got me pipette out, and I split it into little bits, and I sent it to all of you. And I would love to know what you think of it, because this is not yet released. It does not have a name, and I have guessed the perfumer correctly, as it turns out, because I did message Renault with my feedback. So I at least know who the perfumer is, but I know fuck all beyond that. So, James, you go first, because I'm saving your full 14 for later.
There's an extra week, remember? It's a full...
of course, yeah, it's a full 21. Fuck.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I didn't bring snacks.
I'll get through it quick, Fliss. Fliss is obviously excited for it, so, you know.
The mask just slipped there a little, Fliss.
I'd have brought snacks and wine. I've got water and nothing else.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Right, go on, James. What did you make of Uncle Renault's new concoction?
Well, this is one down, Fliss, so, that's only 20. So I'm quite taken aback by that, to be honest. No. So anyway, right. No, you've every right to it's fucking tedious, isn't it? I mean, it's only been back for like 2 weeks, and I'm already fucking sick of it myself.
But anyway. Honestly, there are people who are commenting on Instagram saying, I love the fact it's back, so ignore me. What the fuck do I know?
I love
the fans will.
I'm bored of myself.
Anyway, come on, right? So this is the Amouage as yet untitled, and I thought it was quite boring, to be honest. Even in comparison to their recent stuff, which there's been a slight homogenization. It's all along the same lines. I know the problem is, and I think I said this in a message on WhatsApp, is that I'm the problem, right? Because
they go
they go too bombastic and big and doing all kinds of things and all this sort of stuff, and I go, yeah, that's a bit much. And then they do something simple like this, and I go, oh, come on, fucking, where's it? So they need to find this sweet, like, Goldilocks zone that the arbiter will be like, yeah, okay, I'm on board. And it's hard to, it's hard to get it in there. So I thought it was quite boring. Yes, it has a nice, classy. I mean, you were stoked, Dan, that you managed to go, well, it's definitely an incense. And you were like, well, pleased with yourself. It's like, it's a fucking Amouage, of course it is. Jesus. And there's not a lot else.
Don't piss on my chips.
You were like, is it Omani incense? Well, what the fuck is it going to be? That's what they use in everything, man.
I didn't say
Jesus Christ. Anyway, right. So it's a really like nice olibanum kind of perfume with a like modern ambroxy fucking base. It's got a little, to be honest, when you put it on your skin, it's very much just a sort of a plain, nice incense. I didn't get any like creaminess, but when I put it on a card, I got this kind of rounded vanilla sort of thing in the base. And yeah, it's nice. It is nice. Like, don't get me wrong, but that's about all it is. And I was very much like, oh, we're getting this like exclusive, promo white label fucking thing, this dub plate. It's going to be fucking great.
Dub plate perfumes, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like meh. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Boo hiss. Well, yeah, I was stoked that I'd spotted it was incense, and obviously, yeah, mostly incense, so not a tough call here. But I had some other thoughts which share once everyone else had a shot. Fliss, what did you make of it?
Well, I sort of disagree. I'm sorry, James, but I do. I really like it, and I did get the creaminess, and it's spicy and incensey. And it's
spicy incest? I'll fucking hope not.
Incensey, and it's slightly fresh, and it's not cloying at all. And I like the fact that it's much lighter than the usual Amouage stuff, and I feel it sits really well in that Purpose Outlines Luster line. And if this was a fourth Purpose Outlines Luster, then this would be the fresher, lighter member of the group that would be a really easy everyday wear. I would definitely wear it that way. I think I don't get the heavy ambrox base. I get lots on my skin. I get lots of lovely vanilla. It's really creamy, and then it's just spicy enough at the top, and I love it. I would wear it if somebody gave it to me. I'm not going to buy it because I can't afford it. But if somebody gave it to me, I would be wearing it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Well, I will make Renault listen to this, so hopefully he will take note. Ben, what did you make of it?
Probably somewhere in between those two, actually. I really liked it. I thought it was great. But I enjoy like a really minimalist incense perfumes anyway, and that's exactly what this was. At first I felt a bit like James, a bit almost disappointed because it felt like it was like half a perfume. I was like, well, where's the rest then? Because I'm getting like, like you say, like the typical Amouage incense, but normally then they would build on that with something and take it you know, in a floral direction or whatever direction, but there's always that kind of heart of that amouage incense. Whereas this, it felt like, right, there's the heart, you know, there's the amouage incense, and now what? And it didn't really seem to sort of go anywhere else. But that's not to say I didn't like it. I still really enjoyed it. But I did feel like it felt a little bit like half done. But that's more maybe because I was expecting, you spray an amouage and you expect
I was going to say, is that because you're comparing it to other stuff?
Perhaps because
if you didn't know this was an amouage, I think you'd have liked it a lot more.
Me too, yeah, because I think probably then I would have just been like, oh well, it's a great incense, because it is a great incense, but because it's an amouage, you almost a great incense is a written. Do you know what I mean? You're like, well, of course it's a great incense, but what else has it got? And this one, it doesn't really have a lot else. Like I say, it's not really a problem. I loved it. I really enjoyed wearing it. I wore it like 2 days on the trot, and I enjoyed it both days, and was like, this is great. It just felt a little bit half done, but I don't know. That's I don't know, or maybe it's faint praise. I don't know, but I did really enjoy it, and I think, like Fliss says, if I didn't know it was an amouage, maybe I would sort of cut it a bit more slack. Because, and like James said, maybe it's like you expect bombastic from amouage.
I like the fact that it was less bombastic, because sometimes with those big amouages, there's so much, you have to really pick a time to wear it. You have to really be careful about when you're wearing it, because they are big, you know. And I think maybe that's a cultural thing for us, so I don't know, but some of the other amouages that I love, I wouldn't wear as much as I would wear this, whereas this, I feel like it has that amouage DNA, but I feel as if it could be an absolute everyday perfume without having to feel as if I was choking anyone out. There's a lovely sillage, but it's not like a mad fat sillage. It's going to offend anybody if they don't like perfume. It just creates this lovely bubble, and I do get that creaminess. I do get that lovely vanilla-y, creamy base, and I actually found it quite feminine as well. And the freshness, I didn't feel
that is interesting.
I didn't find it too masculine at all. I would wear the hell out of it.
I think the top notes are almost into like I don't know, maybe like clary sage or something. Like it's got this kind of, which I sort of associate with like masculine like perfumes, or like those kind of friendly maybe entry level incense, like maybe like I'm evoking this, but it doesn't smell like this, but like that Bleu de Chanel type ish thing, which I associate with being masculine. But then, like I say, when I put it on a strip, I could smell that like very sort of creamy vanillic kind of base, which I didn't really get on my skin or even on the remnant on my clothes, which I usually do. And to be honest, I kind of like that, because I have this thing where there's a lot of this juxtaposition between sort of fizzy, bright, olibanum, like resinous kind of thing, and vanilla, which is very much like, and a lot of brands do it, a lot of perfumes do it, and they have this kind of, it can be a very jarring combination, or it can be amazing. I don't mean to flash forward to the Louis Vuittons, but one that I didn't particularly like was the
Nuit de Feu.
Nuit de Feu, only because that is exactly the same sort of combination, where like the incense is really nice to begin with, and then that base, I just go, nah, I'm not really.
That was my favourite of the line.
Really?
That's it.
Okay, so we're going to have a great conversation about Louis Vuitton, and that's super interesting, and I don't actually wildly disagree with that analysis, James, and the comparison. However, for this one, I felt that it sort of had a slightly chocolatey, almost cocoa, slightly dusty kind of cocoa chocolatey sort of vibe going on, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was quite a masculine perfume, actually. I certainly wouldn't describe it as feminine, if masculine / unisex. But the perfumer is Alex Grosjean, I think. Grosjean.
It's probably exactly how you pronounce it, I would have thought.
Grosjean, maybe?
Grosjean, yeah, exactly. Grosjean. Alexis Grosjean. Anyway, so
saying it more is not going to make us get it any righter.
all right, it's Alex Grudgian, and it's Alex Grudgian from Barnsley, and he is the chap who did. I want to say it's not Search, was it? It's the sort of slightly metallic-y one. Oh no, maybe it was Search. Yes, he did Search. Sort of metallic-y, citrusy, cologne-y type one. I think, Fliss, your assessment that it would sit in the range with the other three Outlands. The other two? I forget.
Purpose, Outlands, Luster.
That's it. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Exactly. Was it Purpose? No.
There is a fourth.
Reasons.
There is a fourth one.
Reasons.
There is a fourth one of those because I asked you if it was that one in the week.
Yeah. No, yeah, there is, which is Reception, is it?
That's it,
and that was that's a Harrods one. Now, I don't believe that this is Reception. I suppose it's possible that it is, but I don't believe it is.
Okay.
And that's a Harrods exclusive. Yeah, there seem to be increasing number of Harrods exclusive perfumes. There's now a couple of Fragrance Du Bois ones. There's definitely some Henri Jacques stuff.
Well, when
it's definitely a thing.
When that shop opens in Chester, I'll be able to go, yeah, Howard's exclusive.
Yes,
I've tried that one.
Yeah, tried that down at the old H Beauty. So anyway, I enjoyed it. I think it would definitely fit in that line. I think I'm not. So on the one hand, I'm kind of not absolutely sold on the comment about them being increasingly homogenized, but I do think that line with not purpose, I keep doing this myself, Reasons, Outland, yeah, it was all your fault, Fliss. That line with Reasons, Outlands, and the other one,
Luster, which I really liked.
Well, I like them, but I do think that they are much more accessible stuff than a lot of the Amouage. Now, I suspect that's a deliberate sort of choice to sort of almost have a kind of couture type range or whatever. But it's I think it works in there. And I'm interested to see what it's finally called.
Well,
it's probably called like one of the Aaron Terence Hughes perfumes.
Yeah. Just to defend my homogenized comment. Well, I'll take it even further, seeing as he's listening. I think he's fucking, taken fucking Amouage into the toilet, frankly, since Christopher Chung. And
are you being deliberately provocative?
Yeah, I'm messing. He hasn't really. No, there've been some good ones, right? But I just think I don't know. There's just something like I can't even put my finger on what it is.
They're not risky perfumes anymore.
No, they seem to be like, and I think
it's almost like they've grown up. That they've gone through their kind of like. It's not for the one to trying
though. I think he's really thought about maybe too much about what Amouage is as a brand, and it's. I don't know. There was a sort of. It was a bit more playful when Chung was there. I thought, like each kind of release was like more of a celebration, whether you liked it or you didn't, and it started to move away from the core of what it is. Now it's kind of been sort of, I think they've had it is a sort of rebrand, isn't it? Where they've thought about what are we as a brand? What are we going to do? And they have to change and evolve. And I understand that. And different people being at the helm, is bound to be different. And to be honest, like I say, I'm not being super critical because I have really liked a lot of the perfumes that have come out, but they just kind of seem, it's hard to put your finger on what it is. I don't know. I'm not as excited by it. So again, the problem's probably me. Right? I'm just not as excited by Amouage as what I used to be.
In 9 out of 10 situations, James, the problem is you. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a given.
True.
I think similarly though, I'm the same with it. Like I spray it and I still want to smell like Myth's Man or something, like the new kind of like Figment Man or the new Myth's Man, where you spray it and you go, whoa, what the fuck is something?
What the problem is you're like, those days are over. Like that's not going to happen again. As under him anyway, that's not going to happen.
It was still good though. Like I say, as an incense, like it was a stellar incense. Really, I mean, you know, it was really good. So yeah.
Amouage at their worst is better than most other brands at their best. Let's face it.
Okay. So I guess that is an important sort of level setting, right? So this conversation is always within the context of Amouage, you know, having made some pretty exceptional perfumes. So good. Well, I enjoyed it. I'm glad we were all able to give it a whirl, though, and let's see what they finally call it and stuff. James, do you want to do your full 21?
Yeah, I'll do it fucking quick because Fliss is already rolling her eyes. I can see her.
Fliss has already expressed her fucking extreme displeasure about this. Oh, for fuck's sake.
I get so slated with this. Everyone's going to pile in on Instagram and go, we love it, Fliss, fuck off.
They won't.
No, they're always lovely about you, Fliss.
Right, let's do it. And some of them actually I've worn a couple of the Louis, which we'll talk about, so I'll just kind of glaze over those.
Gloss over them.
Yeah, so so the first one was Agua de Lo L, which we talked about because I think we were talking about, we always reminisce to those 90s, 2000s sort of things. This is a kind of 2000s aquatic by Loewe, they're called, aren't they?
Loewe. I think maybe you got this out when we did the Summer Bangers.
That's usually what happens. I get it out, and then on the Monday morning after the podcast, I'm like, oh yeah, fucking put that on. So that's I'm so fucking predictable. So anyway, Agua de Lo L, you've got to try that though, guys. It's fucking great.
Yeah, no, I did actually look it up. I was considering making a move for a bottle.
It's cool. I mean, if you know, you need to expect an Acqua di Gio or a L'Eau d'Azur, but in a slightly more fruity kind of just pleasant version of that. Then I wore Manos Gerakinis.
Greek guy.
Yeah, Anthem. Can't really remember it. So it can't have been that good. Moving on.
I tried one of his, which was what's that thing that I can't really smell? Spiky plant.
Spikenard. No.
Spikenard, yeah, spikenard.
That is a real perfume material.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No. It's a sort of peppery, rooty, kind of aromatic. Is it a floral? Is it a flower? I don't know. It'll come back to me in a fucking minute.
Okay. Histoire de Parfum 1725, which is the one that's one
you bought.
Yeah, that you love, Dan.
I like.
Well, no, you love the better version of it by
I love the better version of it. Immortelle. That's the word I was trying to think of.
Right, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so basically my description of it, a slightly spiky thing that I can't smell, didn't work for any of you.
Okay. No. I just am surprised that you can't smell Immortelle. Okay, cool.
For some reason, a lot of Immortelle-based perfumes, I don't seem to be able to smell.
Well, just on that, the friend of the show, Rich Mitch, the Duck, shout out to the Duck.
We can't go an episode without mentioning him.
I know, yeah. He's just the fucking fifth Beatle at this point. He sent me the material, the Immortelle material in the new Les Indemodables perfume. Which asked for from the brand, and they said, oh, sorry, we've already sent your sample, your little minis out, so no, you can't have the material, sorry. Even though I fucking emailed them at the time, but never mind, let's not slag them off. The fuckers. But anyway, no, he sent it to me, and then I tried it, and very interesting. I said, well, clearly you can see how the perfume was made with that, and he was like, what? Like, I don't get that at all. He says it smells very sort of curried to him, and the perfume doesn't. I would say it has a strong licorice note, but also what's really interesting is that it smells a lot like myrrh to me, like really a lot like myrrh, which I wasn't expecting, because the perfume doesn't really smell like myrrh, which is it fascinating, because that's like a facet that they've kind of maybe toned down somehow with the rest of the composition or whatever. So it's always fascinating to get the material that's in the perfume to go, what have they done with it? Okay, so then I wore Le Galion Essence Noble. Anyone know that? Nobile.
No.
Okay, it's a wonderful perfume. It's very similar to that one that I bought the other week from Healy. It's a kind of cologne, mossy, blah blah blah, etc. It's very, very good. Very
mossy, blah blah blah.
Very classy. It's like a kind of mossy chypre. Very citrusy, very fresh for the thing. It's an Eau Sauvage. You know, it's a kind of take on Eau Sauvage, but it is from a classic brand, Le Galion, who are like a really cool brand actually. And even their new, because I've been sampling their new stuff, and it's really good. You know, it's really decent. Then I wore the Les Indemodables Immortels L'air, which I've sort of briefly mentioned there. It's this, I mean, Fliss knows the score with this one. What did you think of that, Fliss?
I really, really liked it in terms of the line. I think it's the best of that line that's come out recently for me, because I think some of the more recent stuff that they've released I haven't been such a fan of. I think it's Antoine Lee is absolutely back on form. I think it's got tons of personality. It feels bright and sunny. It does feel like Sun on Immortelle, but there is also these other kind of more gourmandy notes. I felt it was quite chocolatey and chewy and sweet without being cloying. I really liked it. Really
100%. So it's got this kind of almost like caramelly type like thing, but you think of that and you go, oh, fucking, you know, ethyl maltol and no, it's not that at all.
It's not cloying and heavy.
It's like a natural sweetness, but then it's kind of, because it's got the licorice, the sort of earthiness of that, it kind of balances it out perfectly. So it has this strong sort of anise licorice note, and then it does go to a little bit of that curry sort of thing, which you kind of, you know, I do actually,
but not strong.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's not. When I think of Immortelle, I'm not a big Immortelle wearer because of that slightly curried dryness, and it's not like that at all. It really isn't. I think, like I say, they've toned that down quite a lot, and it is definitely a return to form. Not that, you know, to be honest, the Orange Sirocco wasn't massively a fan of, but yeah, a few recent ones have been like, yeah, they're okay, but this one really is a return to form. It is fantastic, and I wore it in the high heat. I mean, it was like 25 degrees or something, and I thought, wow, I'm fucking brave wearing this today, and it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant in that heat, because I thought, this is a winter perfume, this is like a fucking woolly jumper of a perfume, but no. Then I wore Nisaba Provence, which was given to me by Ben. I thought it was wonderful.
Hey.
Yeah, really unexpected, because like when you described it on here, I was like, yeah, interesting, I'll give it a go. Doesn't really sound particularly like my thing, but it is a minty lavender, a very unique smelling lavender, but
quite tart, isn't it? Almost like fruity tartness for a lavender.
And it's kind of almost got this sort of like ghostly feeling of what you would get from like a violet perfume. Like I always describe them as being a bit sort of ghostly or whatever. It's got that kind of elegant sort of thing. Spooky, yeah, a little bit spooky.
Spooky is one of my favourite words. I mean, every time I use it, I feel like a fraud because it's a James word, but I think it's such a brilliant fucking word to describe a perfume.
Some perfumes are fucking spooky though, aren't they? But
yeah.
The main thing that I really loved about this, right, was that it was fresh. It was almost like when you put like cucumber in like ice water or something. It has that cucumber note, but a lot of the time people try and make these fresh cucumber perfumes and they smell awful. horrible, right? They smell fucking horrible because they use like cucumber aldehyde and like some of these materials that, they do smell like this has like a cucumbery like freshness with the kind of slightly minty thing. I thought it was brilliant. It's a bit cologne-y, you know, it's not the strongest perfume in the world, but I just kept reapplying it all day and was like, fucking, this is really nice. So yeah, a totally unique lavender, and I would say, even if you don't really like lavender, check it out because you might like this. I thought that was really good. Then I wore Pacific Chill by Louis Vuitton, which we'll talk about later, and I have actually worn it twice in this list, so there you go. That says that I liked it. I also what?
That's fucking ridiculous, honestly. So I know that we don't always like predict each other's fucking tastes accurately.
Yeah.
But I reckon if someone had held a gun to my head and said, which of these LVs is James going to think is utter dog shit, he would have said Pacific Chill.
Right.
That is just bizarre. Absolutely bizarre.
Well, I'll tell you, I do like kitschy, chintzy, cheesy, stupid perfumes sometimes, and that's what I see that as, really.
Damn.
But I still like it. Do you know what I mean? Like, so sometimes we want to, you know, go to the fun fair, don't we? And that's kind of what that is. Then I wore the 1725 again, which we've already talked about. Then I wore 24 Faubourg, which is a big favourite of the show, with Fliss and Ben. It's a big summer, lovely perfume. Then I wore Chris Collins' Renaissance Man, which actually is a fantastic perfume, right? So Chris Collins was this brand that I was like, I don't know who Chris Collins is. It was a black-owned brand, and I only mentioned that because, like, I knew nothing about it, and there was a big thing of, this guy's got a brand.
Don't worry, someone will be writing in shortly to accuse us of being racist.
Well, no, this was the thing, that it was like, I thought, the guy, I thought he was the perfumer as well, right? And I bought like the sample set, or, you know, I bought a load of samples, and they're good perfumes, right? But they were just kind of like kind of riffs of other things. But like, actually, if you really dig down into Renaissance Man, it starts out as a big tobacco fragrance, right? You're like, wow, this is. Sorry,
is it American?
Yeah. I think he might be famous for something else, actually. He might be like a designer, or I don't know. But in actual fact, he doesn't make the perfumes, so I was wrong about that. Because I thought, fucking hell, you know, if he's like self-taught or even like, you know, just an independent perfumer, he's pretty good. So Renaissance Man, yeah, it's this big tobacco sort of thing, and then all of a sudden it's got like fruity kind of elements to it, but it's not the cheesy like cherry bullshit. It's very, very good. And then all of a sudden you go, I know what this reminds me of as it's dried down. It's very much like Tom Ford for Men, the original Tom Ford, which is technically a tobacco fragrance, but that, to me, that has a much better, like, fresher top and much more kind of cool things going on, like sort of orangey, gingery kind of notes. The thing is, these two perfumes are comparable, but the transition are totally different. So it's almost like, yeah, you could have these as similar perfumes, and I get why people would describe them as similar, but you could own both of them and have a totally different experience, because the opening is very, very tobacco-y on this one, and almost to the point where when it reaches a dry down, you're like, wow, it's like this other thing. But Tom Ford is technically a tobacco fragrance, so it's kind of
which one?
It's called Renaissance Man by Chris Collins.
Oh, okay. Because I'm just looking at him on Fragrantica, and apparently Natalie Feisthaar does quite a lot of his stuff.
Yeah. So, I don't think she did this one. I think it's another female perfumer, though, who made Renaissance Man. But yeah, it's worth a sniff, that line, because I remember some of the other ones being like, yeah, that's pretty good as well.
Laura Santanoni. Yeah.
And that is why people tune in.
Okay. So then I wore Atelier Cologne Filtre Ceylan, which was provided by Dan.
What did you... What did you think of it?
I hated the opening of it. I was like, wow, this is like a turbo tea perfume, right? I did not like the opening at all. But as it dried down, I was like, yes, I actually like this, because usually tea perfumes are quite meek and mild, or they have loads of citrus top, and then you go, oh, okay, the tea is there. Whereas this was like, the tea was extremely intense from the very start, but it also has that sweaty cumin note, which I was pretty appalled by, to be honest, only because I like that, right? But it wasn't that clean cumin. It actually smells like kind of BO. I was like, fucking hell, this is like, or that slightly like, you know, like,
I love that when cumin smells like BO. That is my favourite.
I'm saying cumin. It clearly is some kind of cumin note called whatever, but it's not got like the freshness of the spice. To me, it smells almost like water that's going a little bit not great. Yeah, that slightly muggy smell. But then that goes away, and it just becomes a really nice tea, and it's quite strong and stays lasting, and I like that about it. But I wasn't really digging the opening too much. Then I will sorry, go on.
Can we just talk about it for a second? Because I absolutely love that. I think it's brilliant. I think it's there's a sort of cleanliness from the tea, and then there's just like a bit of filth underneath, and it just feels like it feels very kind of human, very sort of skin-like. And the I think it's a perfect sort of gym perfume, because it's got the kind of meditative, chilled, clean tea,
but you stink anyway,
and then the sort of the dirty sweat underneath, and I just think it's marvelous. Absolutely
right. I mean, I like Atelier Cologne as a brand. I think they've got some really good perfumes, actually. I love this one, Camellia something. I've got it. I just can't.
Palmer Camellia?
Yeah, I just can't be asked digging it out of the cupboard. But it's called Camellia something. And Camellia actually don't have any scent at all. So it is an imagining of a Camellia, and it is beautiful. It's like a kind of icy, cool iris type phrase. It's gorgeous. Anyway, I didn't wear that, so let's not talk about it. Pasha de Cartier,
Camellia Intrepide. Camellia Intrepide. Yeah. So just on the Atelier Cologne before we move off it. Fliss and Ben, your thoughts on it?
I just sprayed it a second ago, so I didn't smell it before that. It smells like Turbo Lady Grey. It's that kind of like orangey tea, but really like turbo, but there's sort of a minty sort of element to it as well.
Yeah, there is a minty note.
No, it's beautiful. I love it. Yeah, great.
I'm not sure I've sprayed the right one. What's the name of it again?
Filtre Ceylan.
No, I don't. I have sprayed the wrong one.
Oh,
I've got it over here. Lovely.
Lovely.
Let's go.
Filtre Ceylan.
Let's go. You carry on, and I'll be with you in a tick.
Okay. I sort of had this down as quite down as quite a Ben sort of perfume, given how intense the tea was.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, really.
I thought you said because of the rancor chord.
Yeah, well, that too. I think it's a stunning combination of filthy tea.
I'm getting the filth.
I tell you what, it reminds me of.
Doesn't take long, does it, to get down to that filthy bit?
You know, when you open a box of tea and like, you're not brewing it, like it's just a box of tea, and like you stiff your nose in it and it stinks. It's like that, as opposed to like a brewed tea, like, which I guess maybe plays into what James was saying about sort of it's quite intense rather than quite soft, because a lot of teas, they are quite soft, aren't they? And you get that idea of like, you're smelling tea in the air, whereas this is more like tea leaves in your face.
Yeah. And I think as it dries down, it gets better for me, because it's a really lasting tea with a really strong sort of thing. So I did enjoy the experience of wearing it. I was just a little bit taken aback by the opening, but I don't really care about that. It's interesting, right? And it's a new combination that I've not smelled before. So good I'm open to new experiences. So Pasha de Cartier, which is one of my favourite perfumes, the EDD, which is fantastic, and just amazing perfume. Then I wore Sherigan the Purple Bar. Has anyone tried that?
I'm sure you've mentioned this.
I have,
before.
yeah. I wore it once a while ago. It's kind of a custody sort of. It has a really nice kind of floral. It's kind of resinous. It's kind of everything. Like I think, and then it goes like kind of custody vanilla, which you would think I wouldn't like that, but I really do like it. I really like it, and it's very labdanum, heavy as well. So I like that. Then I wore Victor and Rolf Spice Bomb, which I think we all know what that smells like. Then I wore Prada Amber Pour On because that's a great fragrance for the heat and whatever. Then I wore Frank Muller Colour Dreams. Frank Muller is a watchmaker and was kind of the original, these Richard Mille watches that everyone, like all the twats wear, that are like 2 million quid and stuff, and they're really gaudy and cheesy and stuff. Frank Muller was kind of the original one of those, and he...
The Frank Muller, the original watch, I think was called the Crazy Hours.
That's not the original one, but the Crazy Hours is one of them, and it has obviously the hours at all different places on the face, and the...
Oh, I know. I used to covet
they're cool.
those.
They are cool watches.
The adverts.
Yeah.
The adverts used to be like in Tatler and whatever, and I used to see them, and I used to think that was like the epitome of where I wanted to be.
Do you know what? Right, as far as they
mission accomplished, darling.
They maintained a very good brand sort of image, I think, because it was two guys who started them. So they had Frank Muller, who was actually the watchmaker, and another guy who was like the bean counter, basically, and they kind of fell out, and that's why the brand's gone a bit tits up in recent years. But enough of the watch stuff. Right. Anyway, Colour Dreams is just basically the Crazy Hours, but without the Crazy Hours, and just coloured different colour numbers on the face. So all the perfumes are named after watches, so they're actually a watch, in the thing. This, I would say, is a kind of citrus musk. You think, oh, that's quite boring, but it's really, really good. It's really, really good, actually, to be fair, for a brand that is kind of just playing at being like, oh, we're a luxury brand, let's make some fucking really expensive perfumes. I do like Colour Dreams a lot. It's got a really fantastic, really realistic, like citrusy kind of tropical-y sort of opening, and then it just goes into a really musky, warm perfume, which is lovely.
It's by Julie Pluchet, by the way, who did a bunch of Clive Christian.
Yeah.
A couple for Atkinson.
There you go. Okay. So got a bit of pedigree. Right, and then there's not many more, Fliss, it's okay. Maybell Orama, Phoenix Flames.
Hey.
I really enjoyed it. Right? I'll tell you what.
I'm a little bit surprised at that.
No, it's an indie perfume, right? It's not brilliant, okay? It's not like, but I'm judging it on. I know it's by an indie perfumer, but I actually, if I then go, right, what do I like? A labdanum heavy amber accord with kind of spiciness. I got in the car, actually, my mum said, smells like sausages in here. And I was like, that'll be the Gaiac wood, probably. I think it's got a little bit of Gaiac wood, just giving that like sausagey barbecue sort of thing. And then my sister was like, oh no, it smells like matey bubble bath. And I was like, all right, okay, matey bubble bath times sausages. And it's just a really cool, spicy, heavy amber incense like perfume. I really enjoyed it, to be honest. And I thought, lighten up. Stop being all like, oh, you've got to be trained in grass to be a fucking perfumer. You don't. I really enjoyed it. So thanks for sending that, Ben.
Cool.
Then,
I thought it reminded me of. Sorry, just quickly on that one. It felt like a Beaufort that was easier to wear. Like,
yes, I'll take that. Actually, definitely. I think
that is a
Ben.
good
Sorry,
description.
I can see James is keen to get through this pretty well.
I feel under pressure now. Fliss has given me grief.
It's good. It's good.
Lesbian.
No.
It's good to talk around them. I didn't like that Marbell one.
Yeah.
Ben. It was too spicy and too kind of. I don't mind spicy. I quite like a spicy perfume, but I prefer it to have the kind of polish of a. No, that sounds twatty, but it highly spicy with the rough and ready indie thing. It's just a bit too.
It's heavy-handed, It's raw, heavy-handed,
Yeah, heavy-handed. I think is a very.
But Phoenix Flames is actually a fantastic name for it because the spicing is warm, the whole vibe of it is hot and flames and phoenixes, and I get it. So then we've talked about the Amouage, which I wore on the Thursday, which I didn't really say that I particularly disliked. I did like it, but I just like I say, it's my problem. I just kind of have expected to be like, oh wow, I want to be completely out by this Amouage, and I wasn't. Then I wore Oderants Fou, I think it's called, Fouz, and I've put a big thumbs up next to it, so I obviously liked it. It was only 3 days ago that I wore it, and I'm fucking struggling, so hang on. I did write a review.
I can't remember it, but there was a big thumbs up.
No, it wasn't forgettable. It was great, actually. I remember it was a big labdanum perfume. Again, if there's any way to get to my heart, it's that and musks. I think it had labdanum and musks. Oh, no, bollocks. No, it's not. It's not that at all. It's not that at all. It does have labdanum stuff. Right, what it is actually a creamy almond. So the notes are almond, bergamot, iris, licorice, cotton flower, vetiver, cashmere wood, and musk. Right, and it's one of the best creamy almond licorice kind of vibes. It's almost in the vibe of the female Lolita Lempicka. It's that kind of vibes, but it's a bit more upmarket. The opening is mad. It's quite chemically, to be honest. The almond doesn't do that cherry weird thing, but it's very sharp, and then it goes beautiful. And then the iris, it's saying it has iris. The cashmere, you get all of it right in this kind of thing. I thought it was very good. And I really enjoyed wearing it, to be honest. And it had that creaminess, and it was on a hot day, and I still really enjoyed it. Then I wore. Sorry, go on.
Where did you get it from? Was it sampling?
Do you know what? Look at this, right? I just buy a fuckload of samples every now and again from like Jovoy or one of those. I just spend like 50 quid on samples or whatever, and then I just have them lying around, and I don't always sniff them at the time, and then I'll pick them up like 6 months later or whatever. So it was one of those. I think I got it from maybe I want to say what's that place? No,
Bloom.
Not Bloom. The other one, it's in London somewhere. Les Centers, yeah, it's probably from there. So I wore Pacific Chill again, which we'll talk about. And then today I'm wearing Moschino Uomo, which is a kind of, again, very musky, but it's got this light kumquat. It's got a kumquat now, actually. Yes, it does. And it's just, that's a wonderful perfume that's very underrated, apart from with Jeremy Fragrance, who loves it. Sorry that took so long.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's definitely a guy whose opinions everyone should be listening to, because there's absolutely no way that he's a solid gold fucking hit.
Okay, that's it, done.
Bless him in his poor mental health.
His poor mental health is very poor mental health. So that was a pretty decent full 21. Follow that, Ben.
Oh, I keep it simple. I've been wearing loads of LV, which we don't need to hear about. And so I bought from Penhaligon's, because I like Penhaligon's.
Do you?
Finally.
It's so out of character.
I know, right? But they have I don't ever buy it. So basically, they had a 50% off sale, and I was like, right, this is the time to buy Penhaligon's, because you'd never buy it full price, never in a million years.
Never.
And I bought Alula or Alula or whatever it is, which is their newer one in the trade routes. And do you know what? It's fucking beautiful, but I didn't want to buy it full price because that's just ridiculous. But for 100 quid for 100 ml, bang on. And it's like, I was talking about amouage and being more polite earlier. It's exactly what it's like. It's like a really polite amouage. It's plum, it's incense, it spits tiny bit smoky. It smells like an amouage if Penhaligon's made it, and that's exactly what it is. And I love it. It's great.
I just can't get my head around what a fan you are of Penhaligon's.
I know.
It trips me out.
They're a weird brand. It's such a weird thing to say. I like the fact that they're so middle of the road, but I do, because sometimes that's what you want. But they're
solid, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're stuff you're gonna. There's nothing that's offensive.
Exactly.
And it's solid.
Yeah, and it's like
just solid.
If you want to, like this one, Alula or whatever it's called, Alula, I don't know, but it's like if you want to wear like an incense, but you don't want it to be huge, and you just, it does work. It's a really nice kind of like Middle Eastern incense with this like thick kind of plum that's quite sweet, and that really works. And because again, plum perfumes are lovely, but sometimes they can get on your tits because they can be a bit heavy. This one's not. It's just light. It's pleasant. 6 hours later, it's gone anyway. Happy days.
I think.
Can I be cheeky and ask you to send me some?
Yeah, of course.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah.
I think as proud British people, I think we're rooting for Penhaligon's to be good. I think we are collectively.
Yeah.
Manifesting it.
I don't think it's even owned by a British
No, but
probably not.
Let's not ruin it. Come on. We can all pretend.
It's owned by Puig. It's owned by Puig.
Yeah. Are they German? Are they German?
Okay.
Puig are Spanish, and they bought a Penhaligon's in 2015 along with L'Artisan Parfumeur. So, but they bought L'Artisan Parfumeur and.
Well, there's the illusion that they are,
Yeah.
I mean, they try their best to make that illusion like in your face, don't they? But yeah, no. So I wore a lot of that. I think it's good. I think it's. I do think. I think it's one of the better trade routes, and I think that line is actually pretty decent. So I do think it's one of the that and Petra, Legacy of Petra, I think are both actually excellent perfumes. To Penhaligon's or not, I think they're both excellent. So yeah, I wore that a lot, and also just because I don't know why, I just sort of got the itch, and this is completely psychotic, but it was like the hottest day of the year, and I thought, do you know what this stands for? Amouage Interlude, Black Iris, and I just fucking. And not only that, I broke my 2 spray rule, and I thought it's a hot fucking
War
day.
on the forehead.
I'm going to go crazy with this shit, and all over myself, like fucking
Amouage for days.
just smashed it all over myself. Amouage Black Iris. I've been wearing that for about 4 days now, and it's just fucking magnificent. And I think it's better than the original Interlude. I think the Black Iris flanker is excellent. Wow. And it is a bit calmer than the big Interlude. It's not as big as the original. It is a bit softer. It's a bit more subtle, but it's still Black Interlude. Do you know what I mean?
I just can't believe you broke your 2 sprays.
I know, on the hottest day of the year with Interlude.
To do it.
But no, Interlude Black Iris, I think it's brilliant. And do you know what? It worked really well in the heat. It really, really worked. I was like, I could be wearing something fresh and lovely, but this is just as great. It's working perfectly well. So yeah, I wore a lot of that. The complete flip side of that, I did also wear a bit of Guerlain L'Homme Ideal cologne. Which is good, but we spoke about that before. It smells a bit like Dior Vetiver, I think, which is nice. But yeah, so that's it really. I really, outside of the stuff that we'll be talking about in a second, because obviously that's the most stuff I've been wearing. But yeah, just those 2 really, which are 2 massive incense things. Happy days.
Wow. Serious stuff. Okay, well that's nice. I mean, just on the subject of things that disappear quite quickly, I got sent some Acqua di Parma stuff to review, and a couple of the blue ones. One's called Murto.
Oh yeah.
It's called Mandor
di Sicilia
something.
The Mandorlo one is lovely.
Yeah,
I like that one.
I absolutely so perfectly elegant for insane heat. Like really fresh and crisp and clean, and definitely does not outstay its welcome or anything. A lot of the time in weather like this, I don't sort of I am a big believer you should wear whatever you want, and I think I said last week that I'd worn like a load of fucking ombre nomad on like a really hot day. So it's like, just do whatever you want. But certainly I have been craving slightly more polite stuff recently that smells good and enjoyable, but is kind of just a nice smell for a little while, and then it's off ski terrain. Quite enjoying those. But yeah, also been smashing a load of LVs in run up to our big LV mammoth House Cup session shortly. Fliss, can you follow the full 21 and Ben's brief 2?
Nor would I wish to. Look, I've been wearing too many LVs, to be honest. We had such a huge pack to get through. So when I wasn't wearing them, I was wearing...
you are, by the way, Fliss, sorry, you are the least likely person to really enjoy the LVs, in my view. And I feel like, but all bets are off because James apparently liked Pacific Chill, so I clearly know nothing.
I would say that the 3 weeks we've spent testing them has been quite tough. But we'll get to that in a bit. So when I wasn't feeling under barrage from LV, I was wearing Bulgari Eau Parfumée Au Thé Rouge.
Amazing.
Which is really gorgeous. I think it's discontinued. It's a 2006 Olivier Polge, but Lena, friend of the show, sent me some.
I got 2 bottles of that.
You haven't?
I have.
Greedy bastard.
Say again, what perfume is it? Sorry.
Oh, well, let me know if you don't want them both.
Say again, Fliss, what perfume
Bulgari,
is it?
Something Thé Rouge.
Eau Parfumée Au Thé Rouge. It's a lovely kind of...
Oh, it's a Bulgari.
Fresh. Yeah. And it feels like there's almost like a rose note in it in some way. It feels rosy even if it's not actually got any rose in it, and it's lovely tea and bright and fresh. It's aquatic, it's citrusy, and in the heat it's just delicious. I really enjoyed it, and I got through. It's meant to have fig in it. I didn't really get much fig, but I don't know. For me, there was a phantom rose note, so I don't understand that. But that's just my.
Do you think it's because it's called Rouge?
But it just felt in. It could have been, but for me, it was just delightful. And she sent me some soap as well. So I've been layering that when I've been washing off the LV.
That whole line, that whole Eau Thé line is great because they do Eau Thé Blanc, Noir, Bleu.
There's a green one as well. Yeah.
That's JC, innit? Jean-Claude Eleanor.
Jean-Claude Eleanor.
Yeah, but these ones aren't, but the green one is. But
this was a Polge. There's still nice perfumers. But I think Lena said she found it in TK Maxx or something, or she found it on a discount place really cheap. She said it was like, she was really excited about it, and so she sent me some, and it's delightful, really lovely in the heat. I've also been wearing Eau de Nerelais Doré by Hermès. I've just bought myself a little 10ml, those little 10ml travel bottles on eBay because I was feeling an itch because I haven't bought anything for a long time. And again, I really liked it. And it was also really thinking about that conversation we had down in the last recording about Neroli. And I said, I'm not a huge Neroli fan, but sometimes it hits the right spot. And your newfound love of Neroli. And I was just looking at Nerolis on Fragrantica coming out of that conversation. And this one sort of like stood out to me. So I bought some. And it's lovely, really, really lovely. And it's a Jean-Claude Eleanor, and it's a Neroli Soliflor, but it's creamy without going cloying, very fresh. There's a lot of bitter orange at the top, saffrony, ever so slightly spicy, ever so slightly. And it's just been a delicious wear.
I've just bought a bottle of that Bulgari for £52 on eBay.
Oh, have you indeed? Well, if you don't like it, you can...
Okay.
But you will
I remember trying, because when you mentioned it there, and I was like, I don't know. And then you showed the bottle. I remember trying that line, and I like the red one and the black one particularly, and I remember quite liking the green one. The whole line is good, so clearly you can get them quite cheap, and yeah, that's great. Bulgari are a good brand, and they do like a bit of tea. That seems to be a theme. Yeah, they're like solid, a bit of tea in their fragrances.
They're very classy fragrances, I think. Yeah. That was slightly understated, but there's nothing
ideal for me. Then.
They don't seem to have jumped on the fucking bandwagon of like, let's just copy what other people are doing. They don't seem to care. They're just like, let's make nice perfumes in our own bubble, and that's it. And that's how it should be.
Yeah. And then the last thing I want to mention is Carl Kling, Clary Fig.
Oh, yeah, I quite like that. That's actually that's an Antoine lie, isn't it?
It is an Antoine, and there was a bit of a thing on one of the groups about it. People were chatting about it. Questioning Scents. Lovely Matt Keane was his scent of the day, and it had a big thread of conversation around it. And so Ian Dyson, friend of the show, sent me a little sample, and I really like it. I really, really like it. I was really curious because I love Antoine. I don't get too much fig from it, but I do get a really woody creaminess, and I wonder if that's the fig. But it's not like a juicy, fruity fig in the same way that I find it quite spicy, and maybe that's the Clary Sage. But I really like it. Wear the hell out of it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's nice.
It feels spicy, very, very creamy, and the sandalwood in the base is incredibly creamy as well.
I think
and slightly musky.
I think they've recently released a flanker to it as well.
Have they? I would really wear the hell out of it. It's lovely. It's lovely, and it's not a typical fig.
No.
There's a lot more going on than that, and the slight spiciness, I think, lifts it from that kind of fig genre. Yeah, well done, Antoine.
Well done, Antoine. You did a good job there, mate.
You did a good job there, yeah.
Well done, lad. Right, so, okay, well, that's good. I'm trying to think if there's been any other exciting perfume developments at Chez Dan. What have I got here? So I've got a new Bon Parfumeur, number 204. Very pleasant. It's got... So it's a fig, and it's a fig with a sort of ambrette, which is ambrette is a sort of musky sort of thing, isn't it? And then it's got well, it says edamame.
Ooh.
But it's
bean.
Yeah,
bean.
It's got fucking beans. It's got, like, you can see all beans in it. And
fig and beans. Oh, I love a fig and a bean.
It's sort of it's a.
If it had Gaelic wood, it could have been sausage and beans. Hey.
Yay!
Sorry, guys.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It's slightly sweet and slightly salty. I don't know.
All good beans.
Like all good beans. And it's actually very nice. It's quite a intense fig note at the top, but really very nice. And I do quite like Bon Parfumeur. I think they make some. You know, they not all of them are great, but a lot of them are decent, and I love the sort of just the sheer kind of simplistic utilitarian style of the bottle. I love the fact that they don't charge an arm and a fucking leg for their perfumes. I think they're like 90 quid or something for 100 ml, which is, you know, pretty fucking reasonable, all things considered, given that they're making, you know, to my mind, good quality perfumes.
See the price of some designer stuff that you know is cheap as chips.
Oh yeah.
Then you know they're doing a service, aren't they?
Absolute.
I love edamame beans, don't you? Do you like edamame beans?
I like edamame beans, but it's so much of the edamame bean is the
salt on the pod
on the pod that gives it the flavour. Anyway, I think those are most of the things worth mentioning.
Did any of you guys smell the off-white that I sent you?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Weird.
And quite weird. Yeah, that was what I thought as well.
Yeah.
Weird, musky, very on brand for Off-White perfume.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure whether I liked it or didn't like. Fliss clearly doesn't like it. That face, Jesus. What do you think of my perfume? Well, I mean, I think the answer is written on your face, Fliss.
It's like a fucking mental white musk.
It's a mental white musk, but it smells sort of. It's very industrial.
Sorry,
there's nothing soft about it.
Have you seen the bottles?
Concrete and metal.
Yeah, I just had a thought, by the way, which was that going back to my little grandstanding, whatever the expression is, at the beginning of the show, talking about the incident. And it occurred to me that if this individual wanted to hear what a true slating of a perfume was like, they should have tuned in to hear what you cunts said about my perfume.
It's true. Oh, yes, it's true.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like slating. I'll show you slating, my friend.
If we slated anyone, we slated
Her
you.
her perfume was
You should
better
listen
than
to
yours,
what they said about it.
I'm only kidding. There's different levels, different divisions. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah, there are different categories of shitness, and okay. So you hate it. I thought it was a bit weird. I thought it was a bit too weird, actually. This one. Yeah, what's going on there? I mean, what are the?
It's clean in a sort of too cool for school way. I mean, I find it almost aggressively cool. It's like someone who really is trying hard to be cool.
Yeah. I thought it.
Really
so I blind bought it, right? Because after that one that Dan sent us, and I thought that was great, and I thought I'm going to just put my if that's what they're like, then I'm just going to just blind buy them when they come up cheap. And I blind bought that one. Had no idea what to expect. Actually bought the wrong one. I thought I was buying a different one. But as soon as I sprayed it, I was like, this is exactly what I was expecting. Like, it's fucking weird. Yeah. And it's like, it sort of smells like a perfume, but it's weird. It's industrial. It's like, I like it. It doesn't last long, but
Thank God.
It's mental.
It's got a slight cleaning product-y sort of smell to it. Not in a sort of
washed concrete-y kind of slightly bleached concrete.
Yeah. It sort of put me in mind of, when you go on holiday and the morning after, if you're walking down like a promenade or a beachfront or whatever, and they're all industriously cleaning up from the night before and cleaning stuff and stuff.
Yeah.
Mate stuff and stuff and stuff. I can't get my words out to you. But, it sort of smelled like that. The kind of, it's just like all the cafes and stuff close at 1:00 or whatever, and then they sort of the street, they all put their bins out and stuff, and the street sweepers come along at about 8:00 in the morning.
It smells like someone if they had if they had like one of those white houses with almost no furniture in and a polished concrete floor, and when they clean, they use bizarre cleaners that you can't buy in Tesco's or Sainsbury's.
And in the wardrobe hangs a solitary pair of like Off-White joggers, and that's it.
Yes,
it is. Again, it is beautifully on brand for Off-White, I think.
And this is number 6, isn't it? Is that right?
Is it?
I'm not sure. I can't remember.
All I read was Off-White. I thought it was 7.
It could be 7. You might be right.
Gone again now.
Because 8's the one that you sent us, isn't it?
This is 7. Off-White solution number 7. Yeah. 8 was the sort of spicy, peppery incense sort of thing. Do you know what? It's actually quite nice, but it does have that kind of industrial outdoor cleaning sort of product.
I wouldn't want to cuddle anyone who was wearing this.
No, it's far too hard, isn't it? Yeah.
It's really standoffish. You'd be like, "Oh, hi, you tell me your marketing strategy," and then go away.
This is what the CEO of the travel company shows up wearing. When he has to deal with the grumpy customer. That's what they show wearing. I also, by the way, and Ben's obviously been sending out loads of shit, but you also sent the Atelier des Odes Crépuscule des Aimes, which I know you and James had spoken about previously, and have both said that I would like it, and lo, indeed, I did like it. It's very nice. It's one I think I'll have to seek out at some stage.
It's got very like vintage feel to it, doesn't it? Like
it gets really crappy fucking scores on Fragrantica for some reason. I don't know why. It's like a low,
it does
low
feel
3,
really
3.5.
vintagey.
I rated it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look. Is it worth us, grabbing a drink and girding our loins for the big Louis Vuitton hoedown? I think it is. Let's do that.
I love to gird my loins.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
No, if I have too much to drink, I'll just rant really heavily. So we're not going to do that.
That's why we're here. Okay, right. So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes with part 2 of Les Oderants. Stick with us. Hello and welcome back to part 2 of Les Oderants. This week we are going to be talking about Louis Vuitton, I don't know how venerable a brand they are really. They sort of been around a while, but Louis Vuitton makes some very swanky, quite expensive, although not astronomically priced perfumes. And for some reason, they are like catnip for perfume collectors at the moment. Any item I see for sale anywhere on Facebook or whatever lasts a matter of minutes. They are also stunningly faked left, right and centre. So many people are selling fakes. It's an absolute nightmare. And they're quite an odd brand. They're very litigious. So like on Instagram, any picture I post on Instagram that has the actual LV logo in it gets automatically removed by Instagram's copyright bots. So any picture I post of any Louis Vuitton bottle will always be front on so that you cannot see the LV logo, which is bizarre. And they do funny.
Even though it says Louis Vuitton, you can't have the actual LV logo.
Correct.
That's the problem.
Correct.
It's kind of mad as well, considering that when Virgil Abloh was there, he came out and said all that stuff about people faking their stuff is the highest form of like compliment and stuff like that, and how he doesn't think it's a bad thing because it's all dissemination of the brand or whatever. And now they're like,
well, now he's dead. Set up Off-White though. Set up Off-White and then died unfortunately. Taken far too young, Virgil Abloh. He was super young. And I think he was like only like early or mid 40s or something. It's terrible.
Well, he's nicked that from the that really shit film. What was it? That Gucci film. I don't know whether this was based on the truth, but there's a bit in that where they go out into the market or whatever, and there's people selling fake Gucci, and the Gucci guy's really pissed off the young like son who's going to be the heir or whatever, and then the old fella's like, no, it's good. Like it's good that people are faking us because it means we've like made it basically.
Nice.
Yeah,
I think there's an element of
it's a shit film though. It's rubbish.
The House of Gucci is that the one with Adam? Is it Adam Driver?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, I did start. Oh, has it got Lady Gaga in it as well? Maybe
Lady Gaga.
It has.
Gaga. Yeah, I started watching it, and I it was nice to look at visually. It was quite impressive, but it didn't really do anything for me as a movie.
No.
So okay, cool. Well, we're not a movie podcast, although I think we should make some effort.
Sometimes though, we do womble on about films a lot.
We do. I watched a movie the other night called Black Bag, which was like it's a new Steven Soderbergh release on Amazon. I think you could rent it for $1.99 on Prime Day. Really
good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a pretty fucking weird spy sort of movie. But definitely worth checking out. And it was brief as well. It was only like 90 minutes long, which is ideal for my feeble attention span. Anything longer than that, and I'm like, yeah, this is probably a 2 or 3 sitter. This one can't really concentrate for that long. Anyway, should we talk about perfume? So I would like to get some initial thoughts on Louis Vuitton overall, because I'll just read out the list of perfumes, what we had, if I can in fact find them, which seems unlikely.
The bewildering list.
Very long.
I wrote them all down, and then, of course, because I've got this fucking digital notebook bollocks, I can't find anything because everything's far too confusing.
I think there was 14.
There was 14.
Shall I just read mine out, because I've got them all on my desk?
Oh, God, look at you, all fucking head girlish, aren't you? Yeah.
I was actually.
You were actually head girl. You were head girl.
Of course I was, darling.
At a school that had a pony club and a fencing club.
Yes.
Yes.
What else do you want me to say?
Let me just check something. Ben, were you head boy of your school?
No. I got suspended like several times. Once for selling French bangers in the hallways.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hang on. What's a French banger? Like a saucisson.
We did a podcast about them the other week.
Little fireworks. Little red fireworks.
Yeah, that's the fireworks, right. Good, yeah. Sorry, I didn't know whether you were selling sausages or fireworks or, some sort of illicit drugs.
Guerlain.
I got suspended for flogging sausages in the corridor. Now, I grew up next to the ferry crossing to Dieppe. So, it was quite common around, my town to have French bangers, because people would go to France and buy a load of bangers and bring them back. And then I flogged them at school. I started a little business flogging them in the hallways.
Nice.
The teachers didn't rate that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can't understand why.
Notice how Dan didn't even bother asking me if I was.
I'm coming to you, James. I'm coming to you. Brace for question. James, were you head boy of your school?
No, because I fucking wasn't.
Well, there you go. Nor was I. I was not even a prefect.
Were you head boy?
Was I fucking arseholes? So I wasn't even a prefect. I got suspended from school. I got suspended for smoking, which was quite embarrassing, really, of all things to get suspended for. And I got I definitely got a Saturday detention for pissing in someone's shoe, which was yeah. Yeah, that was not my finest moment, actually, reflecting on that.
No. Or maybe it was.
Maybe it was, yeah. Yeah, the phantom shoe pisser. All right, let me go back to this. I'm just going to keep that one on ice. Fliss was head girl at a school that had both a pony club and a fencing club. You are.
I got a very good scholarship. I couldn't have afforded to have paid to get there.
You are so the odd one out here. It's unbelievable. Right, I've found my list, so no need for your swatty spreadsheet bullshit. I found my list.
Okay.
So here's the list of perfumes, and then I want to sort of get a bit of a kind of view on the house overall, and then we'll sort of jump into it. I don't think we've got time to review each and every one in depth, so I'll probably just ask some questions. Right, but they are Ombre Nomade, Nouveau Monde, Nuit de Feu, Symphony, Stellar Times, Imagination, Sur la Route, Les Sables Roses, Pacific Chill, Spell on You, Sun Song, Orage, Matière Noire, and L'Immensité, which is 14 Louis Vuitton perfumes. That's nowhere near all of them. There's many, many more which we haven't got to, although I probably couldn't name them off the top of my head. And I've sort of done some brief chunking up of things into the expensive bits, the heavy bits, and the everything else bits. But I want to get initial thoughts. Now, Ben, I know you and I, between us, provided all the samples here, so we're quite clearly the enthusiasts. So, Fliss, initial thoughts on Louis Vuitton. Okay, James, initial thoughts.
It's really not my thing. It's
really not your thing. Wow, that is
really not my thing.
Yeah.
I found.
Someone released a valve now.
Yeah.
Tire being deflated.
I find them all. I mean, positives. I think they hang really, really well together as a house. I think there is definitely a house style, and that house style is quite big on the nose, punchy, very clean, big sillage, a lot of woody ambers in the base, and very, very modern smelling. And I think they smell expensive. They do smell expensive. Yes. I don't think any of them smell cheap at all. But in terms of style, none of them are for me.
No. What? Do you think they have a discernible style then? I mean, when you smell all 14 of them, do you think, well, these feel like a coherent sort of portfolio of things that sort of make sense together? There's something the whole...
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I do. I think as a line, is it Jacques Cavalier?
Yeah.
Has done a really good job of maintaining a style. In the same way as I feel like, Goutal or whatever has a style. You can smell things and you go, that smells like a Goutal, or Guerlain. You can go, that smells like a Guerlain. I think they all smell, obviously, like an LV. There's something that sits them together. I think a lot of that is about these very, very bright citruses. There's loads of bright citruses, and the citrus really lasts. They do a very, very good job at that. The amount of woody ambers in the base there's a lot, and that gives it also a certain style. And that kind of very polished, clean, almost solar kind of sillage. They're big, and they're on the nose, but they don't smell cheap.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
Okay.
They smell expensive.
Okay, James, what did you make of them? And indeed, what do you make of Fliss's, frankly, lukewarm reception to the whole LV range?
I completely understand it, because that is what they are. They feel cheap in the sense that I agree that they smell expensive. They feel cheap in the sense that I sort of made a bit of a kind of comparison with like Mackey's food. They're a little bit, kind of instant gratification, kind of, that sort of like thing. They're very like neon. They're not very like pastel, and
neon is a great, they're such bright colours, aren't they? They're all really bright neon colours.
Yeah, and it's quite strange because I think Cavalier is quite a pastel-y perfumer, sort of, well, apart from maybe his like aquatic stuff in the 90s or whatever, but generally I was quite surprised. So for him to have like this sort of modern renaissance, if you like, making things that are really, I mean, on the nose, like, is a very good description from Fliss. I think that I like them, but I sort of hate myself for liking them, because I'm like,
do you hate yourself?
It's not.
Is it just because of the brand and what the brand stands for?
A little bit, but not really, because I understand that there's a prestigious kind of, there's a cool, like, oh, you've got, proper old money, like Louis Vuitton luggage, that's cool. Or you're fucking, Eubank Jr. with the fucking, like random like pouches all over his fucking jacket with it all splashed all over it. Or, just that kind of modern, like new money fucking Louis Vuitton shit, which in actual fact, and I'm saying this, I really love those trainers that like Ben has got. They're cool, but only because they look like DCs or something, do you know what I mean? But they're like £1,000 DCs.
They are a total rip-off of like early noughties skate trainers, basically.
Yeah, they're like fucking Americas or something, aren't they? But I do like them, and they are well made, so fair enough. Anyway, the perfumes, they are. I enjoyed quite a lot of them, like to the point where there's a couple in there that you, like you say, you were really surprised when I said I'd worn Pacific Chill a couple of times. By the way, not even close to my favourite one, even though I did wear it and liked it.
Yeah.
So there are some other ones, but again, they feel a little bit like as you'll probably see from the ones that I perhaps talk about or choose, that they are very much the things that I just like anyway. Soft, musky fucking bases, you know, and things that are just like, that just tap into something and go, yeah, I like that. But I don't really respect it as, oh, it's massively like great. But we'll get into more detail in a minute. I don't dislike them. I probably would add some to my collection just for how bright and clear and concise the message of them is, and probably how good they are to wear, probably how good other people think you smell, which, despite saying "oh, don't care," is quite, you know, reasonably important. They're quite impactful, and I do, as a whole collection of perfumes there, I do like them, and they are covering different bases, but they also have a coherent style, which is not necessarily my thing.
No.
I respect it. I respect it.
I loved your instant gratification when you said that instant gratification. That really hit exactly how I think of them.
So,
in terms of they don't have that beautiful unfurling that maybe like a more classic Guerlain has.
So I agree and disagree about that. And maybe it's one to talk about in a minute, but I'll just say it, and then, because I want to get Ben's thoughts on the range overall. But Symphony, for me, is a great example of a perfume that feels instantly very trite and a great sort of fizzy kind of hit. And you think, well, that was just a little bit instant gratification here, a little bit, you know, one and done. But then there's just something about it that kind of burrows away under your skin, and just, I don't know what the magic is, but for me, there's something that happens there. You know, it's not just the superficial, trite, disposable grapefruit that it sort of appears to be. There's something much more kind of intelligent going on. Or maybe, just maybe, I'm imagining it because I dumped £450 on a fucking bottle. So my brain's telling me that I need to believe this is so. Ben, I mean, obviously, most of this range, in fact, came from you. You have more of these than I do, which is quite something. What is it that you love about them?
So I think what everyone said is exactly right, and I've been sitting there like nodding away. Right, basically, for me, the whole brand and the whole like collection and line is like neon Hermes, right?
Neon Hermes, that's beautiful.
I love that.
They're like fun, enjoyable, but they've got that. Do you know when you spray an Hermes perfume? It's got like it feels classy, doesn't it?
It feels classy. Done it.
Just saying,
done
hangs
it.
Around. Done it. Like, but you know what you were just saying about Symphony, that thing that hangs around. It is that kind of classy feel that hangs around with Symphony. Like after about an hour or two, it's like feels classy, and I think a lot of them have that kind of classy element to them. But instead of that kind of stuffiness of Hermes perfumes, not all of them, but you know, they're almost like the antithesis of Hermes. Like they're not trying to be stuffy. They're trying to be modern, fun, bang in your face, bright colours. Let's have fun, but also it smells quite classy and quite expensive, and I just think that's great. I have to say, I only have so many of these because there used to be a girl many, many moons ago that sold testers of these for dirt cheap because no one wanted them until Ombre Nomad came out, and then everyone fucking jumped on them and ruined it. Because I used to pick up testers of these for fucking tuppence off of the Facebook groups and stuff, and then Ombre Nomad came out and Imagination and all that line, and everyone piled on, and now they're so expensive and fake to fuck.
Yeah, that's the other downside is they're faked everywhere. So to be honest, you broadly have to go retail unless you're incredibly confident of the provenance of the bottle. It's one of those brands where people say, "Oh, can you get me these cheap?" It's like, don't bother, just buy the fucking retail. It's not worth the hassle. That's of course if you're allowed to buy the retail. Fliss, I mean, you shared with us, I think I saw that somewhere else as well, but somebody you know has been prevented.
On one of the Facebook somebody on one of the Facebook groups is she got an email. She's been a member, sort of like on the Louis Vuitton client list for 2 years, and she got an email basically saying, "You've reached the desired number of bottles that we will happily sell you, and for the sake of other customers, we have to keep stuff flowing. So you are on a ban for 2 years, basically. So she now, I think she could probably go into store and lie about who she is, because they keep when you buy something from LV, they put you on a little list, don't they? So they know if you are, if you're worthy of buying or not. I mean, she could go in
stuff.
and she could lie, I'm sure, and still go into store, but she can't buy anything online, for sure.
She was decanting because, she was like pro decanter, because I saw someone mention. She said she made a post saying so if you want anything, get in now because I can't.
Oh, really?
So the brand definitely don't like that. And there's a guy on Instagram who has got a whole decants business, and fair play. I mean, I think there's good money in it if you can be asked to do it. But he's been banned from buying Louis Vuitton. So he put a post up the other day saying, anyone in London want to go in and get these refilled for me from Louis Vuitton? And it's like 5 200 ml bottles. And he said, and I'll pay you 20 quid a throw. All you've got to do is go into fucking Selfridges for me, and you can make 100 quid in 10 minutes.
I don't know how I feel about that though, because on one hand I'm like, it's good, it's democratization, not everyone wants a full bottle, not everyone can afford a full bottle, and you shouldn't need to, if you want 10 mil, you should be able to spend 20, 30.
You should be able to spend basically.
On the other side, it's you can't really complain if you're doing it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's
the other point.
I don't know.
Sorry, James, but I just wanted to say that Louis Vuitton themselves, the whole purpose of the perfume brand is almost to sort of diffuse their overall brand, right? To get it into,
everyone can afford to have that little piece.
You can afford 300 quid. I mean, you might not be able to afford a pair of fucking £1,000 loafers or $4,000 handbag or whatever, but you can definitely afford £250-300 bottle of perfume, if you save your money, and I think so they're deliberately trying to court people and get them into their boutiques and get that brand identity thing happening. So allowing people to decant stuff, I would have thought rather sort of supports their mission in that regard. But whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Sorry, James, I cut right across you there.
No, it's fine, because you guys know more about this than I do. But when it was initially said, I thought, well, yeah, I understand it, because brands like that and Chanel and people have traditionally protected their thing, and they don't make samples really that readily available and stuff like that, which I think is bad. I think you need to get more of it out there, but also they have this kind of thing of, well, we don't really give a shit. If you want our brand, you have to seek it out and you have to come and get it. And I understand not wanting people to be making money off the back of just the standard retail purchase. And I kind of don't think, good luck to these decanters. I think fair enough. You've been, they've busted you, and you got to hold your hands up and go, oh shit, well, I tried to buy something. And it's just that they're what's the word, conscious enough of it to stamp it out, and because they truly believe that it helps their brand. It's like Chanel, they'll find that they dump loads of stuff that they buy up and then just get rid of because they don't want to tarnish the brand. And I think in the long run,
they'd rather burn bags and clothes than sell it, than have a sale.
Yeah. So, it seems wasteful and stuff, but I think ultimately it protects your brand, and they know better than I do. So, yeah. I mean, I think if you were legitimately I'm just a massive fan and I just want to have multiple bottles, not to a stupid degree, but just I want to buy them, and they prevented you from doing that, you would have grounds to be look, I'm not fucking selling these. I'm doing this. This is what I want. And they really should be able to go, all right, okay, but it doesn't sound like in this case that was the case. So anyway, but I think that's kind of, I'm never going to be getting banned by them. So
no, fair enough.
I probably won't even buy one.
Okay,
to be honest.
Well, that is entirely your prerogative. You can, however, buy them in Manchester at Selfridges in the Louis Vuitton boutique. Oh, yeah. You can't buy them on Selfridges main perfume floor kind of thing. So anyway, right, let's talk about the actual perfumes then, because we've been waffling away for 20 odd minutes and we haven't actually reviewed a single perfume here. So Fliss, pick one you want to talk about, either one that you loved or hated or you were completely ambivalent about but you want to talk about for some fucking reason I wouldn't understand.
Well, the first one I tried because I tried L'Immensité. And I tried L'Immensité because of all of the memes. There was this whole period of time when L'Immensité Strikes Again was a meme. And the meme was, as a bloke, you can put L'Immensité on and you will go anywhere in the world and women will just drop their knickers.
So
and there was all of these memes of like men waking up in the morning, like in somebody else's house or in someone else's bed, and like the L'Immensité Strikes Again. Yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. So I need to smell this because this is the one. Oh my fucking God. How
it's
fucking
clearly the worst
boring
one for you to try.
Is this? I mean, if this is what makes women drop their pants, then I'm sorry, women, you need to get out more. It's not sports, but it might as well be so. It's just the whole gamut of human experience, love, loss, longing, all of this beautiful stuff that you can put in a bottle like a poem, and this just smells of a gym. It smells of men in a gym, and it's an expensive gym, but fuck me. It's a gym frag and I'm out.
Oh my God. I mean, I can confirm that whenever I wear L'Immensité, women hurl themselves at me. I mean, like it's actually dangerous. They cannonballing at me at kind of high velocity.
They're not just shooting you in the head, because that's what I do.
It may be that as well. Yeah. I rather like L'Immensité. I think it's very trite. Of all of the perfumes, to me, it is the tritest.
It's just. I mean, it's almost nondescriptly boring man frag. It's not even a sports frag. It's just.
But does it smell
blue,
nice?
Slightly citrus. No,
it doesn't even smell nice to you.
Slightly musky. No.
I mean, you can't understand that other people would think that smells nice. It's a pleasant smell.
It has that funny thing that catches me on the back of my throat, that kind of raspiness, all the woody ambers in the base.
Okay.
No. Not for me. Not for me at all.
James?
I mean, it was incredibly modern and clean and that, but that's about it. It's just, if you want to smell modern and clean and boring as hell, go ahead, be my guest.
Well, that was the Fliss seal of non-approval. I'm interested in James's take on L'Immensité. I don't know which way to go on this. Part of me thinks you're going to agree entirely with Fliss, and part of me thinks you might just going to say, I love it.
I don't love it.
Okay, right.
But I don't hate it. I just think it's like it's like I say, it's not surprising that Carvallier made kind of aquatic. This easily could have come out the 90s, really, couldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Totally.
It's not like that heavy on the cologne, but it's got that like watery citrus sort of notes, and then it is sport. It is a sport thing. I think the immense sort of power and projection and things of it make it more modern than that, even though those 90s fragrances were strong. I think this is like again, it's almost like you're hearing some shitty indie band that are like totally derivative of fucking Oasis or something, and they were like derivative of other shit, and you're like, is this coming back around again? Like, is this cool again? So yeah, I can kind of see the sort of some of the appeal, but it's not great perfumery. And yeah, I'm not that interested in it, to be honest.
Ben, you love it, don't you?
No.
Ben loves it. Oh, really?
No, I hate it. I'm completely with Fliss. I've worn it once.
Why do you own it?
My whole life, and So I've got a decant of it. So a few of these are decants, and this was one of them where I got a decant because of the hype. To be honest, everyone was going mad about it, and I thought, okay, I'll give it a crack. It doesn't sound like my sort of thing, so I'll get a decant and give it a crack. Wore it once, and I just hated it. I just think it's really boring. I think if you're going to spend that much money on a perfume, to spend that much money on a perfume that smells like something you could buy for 60 quid in Boots is just fucking boggles my mind why you would do so. I don't think it's a bad perfume. I think it smells nice, and I can understand what's good about it. It's got that sporty cleanness and all the rest of it. But to me, it's the most boring of all of them. I think
for me,
it's very I feel like it's almost like they just wanted like that sporty aquatic blue hit, and they just bang this one out, for the plebs to like lap up
But they haven't really banged it out. Not really. I mean, even as a sporty blue hit, as you say, I think it just lacks so much personality. It really does. It's so bland, and I would have more time for it if I hated it more, if it wasn't so meh. Do you know what I mean? If it really went that blue kind of fresh aquatic, if it really pushed that envelope, or it really pushed, I don't know, something.
It doesn't have much character at all, does it?
Okay. So, I mean, I quite like it. I certainly don't love it. I've had it and sold it. It's a bit of a non-perfume for me. It's like, I quite like the smell of it, but I would never really want to smell of it. If I smell someone wearing that, I'm certainly not getting offended. I'll go, oh, that smells quite nice. But there is something to me just rather boring about it. And of all the range, I would have said it's the dullest for me.
I think what makes it slightly just lean in towards the masculine for me is there's like a little clary sage herbal to it, which is giving the sport as well. So it's not just a straightforward like aquatic, but that's that. I think, and I quite like that quality. But again, it's pretty boring stuff.
Okay, well, look, in the interest of time and the fact we got so many of these fuckers, let's move on to another one. James, pick one you want to talk about.
Shall I pick my favourite right off the bat?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. I think this is going to shock Dan. I think Dan is going to be thoroughly shook by this one. Stellar Times is my favourite one.
Fuck off. Really?
Yeah.
You're kidding? Yeah. That genuinely does surprise me.
It's like a fucking pink fucking Care Bear of a thing, but I love it. I just love it.
I
fucking love it.
Absolutely love Stellar Times, and it's so that's one of Stellar Times and Symphony are the two that come from the sort of expensive range with the caps that are meant to look like water splashes, the kind of metal caps, and Stellar Time, both of them, in fact, when I sort of wonder what the extra. That's close to 200 quid, I think, for the bottle. What did that go on when the perfumes themselves seem to be even simpler than the rest of them? There's something completely addictive about both of those for me. And I
fucking bucket of musks.
Is that what it is?
Like shit ton, like
a shit ton, a metric shit ton.
Yeah. And it's very like amber. It's very like cuddly. It almost doesn't matter what the top notes are. There are top notes, and it does have like an impact to begin with, but it just basically smells like musks. But there's like a little gentle rose to it as well. But it's mainly just a real warm, beautiful, lasts for ages.
It lasts for eternity. It's my go-to office wear these days because it's actually quite lovely and quite charming. It's not too oppressive, and it lasts forever. So you can just wear it at the beginning of the day, and you still smell good at the end of the day. It's I think it's fucking magic.
Yeah, me too.
I'm genuinely surprised
it sounds
that was
so
your
boring.
number one.
Well, it sounds so boring to say that a mixture of atomic musks in a kind of this modern, quite feminine, to be honest, I find it.
Yeah, some people have told me this.
That is just totally cuddly and just really, and you could go, oh, you can get that, but there's like subtlety in that kind of mist. Do you know what I mean? There's little things that pop out. That's why I like really musk heavy perfumes when they're done by clearly a very good perfumer who can make little tiny things just emerge from the like fucking marshmallow that it is. It's just I don't know. There's some things that they just like plug straight into your kind of love zone and just go, that's it. I love this, and that's all this does. Yeah. So
I think you used the expression a few episodes back. You described something as being a cheat code, and I think it's a cheat code. It's just you just tap this shit in and you're straight into level fucking 12. It's awesome. Yeah. Fliss, what did you make of Stellar Times? You didn't like it, did you?
Well, I'm sorry, no. I found it a bit of a chemical mess.
You're a fucking chemical mess. Get out.
I know. I just found it so aggressively. What's the word? Yeah, fake. It smells fake to me. It doesn't smell. It just smells of chemicals. It just smells of a lot of chemicals.
I'm sorry. You're right. No, you're totally right. Right, because let's just say that as much as I love it, right, there's loads of other musk perfumes that are so much more nuanced. Like, for example, Over the Musk or The Musk by Essential Parfums, not actually dissimilar to this, or even that Initio one that's pretty good. This feels a lot, still got that neon, like in your face, like on the nose kind of thing, but I still love it. But I get that you could go, this is a fucking just smells of chemicals. It does. It absolutely does.
Ben,
whereas
what did you make us?
The other ones smell like a honey or rose or sorry, go on.
No. Sorry, I'm only just because we've only got about half an hour left, and this is the second perfume. Although I do love the fact you love it, James. Ben, what did you make of Stellar Times? Because I think this was one I sent that you don't have.
Yeah, I'd never smelt it. Somewhere in between of those two.
Somewhere in between love and hate.
I do like it. Yeah, I like it a lot. I think it's really nice. I especially like the cloudiness of the ambrette. I guess probably that big sort of cloudy. Woo. But at the same time, I was a little bit disappointed knowing that it was one of the more expensive ones, and I was expecting maybe a little bit more, but. Maybe that's not how you should. I shouldn't have gone into it with that mindset. Do you know what I mean? Because you're setting yourself up for failure in many respects. Because if it isn't like got some fancy ingredient in it that sticks out to you, then you suddenly start thinking, hang on a minute, this is one of the more expensive ones. What's going on here? But it is good. I do like it. If I discount that side of it, I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
thought it was great. But I also sort of see where Fliss is coming from.
It's definitely in my favourite 3, I would say. It's probably, I don't know whether it is my favourite. But I'm disinclined to ask you, Fliss, whether you had a favourite, but did you have a favourite, or did you sort of low-key hate most of them?
I kind of low-key hate most of them. The one that I found most palatable was Nuit de Feu,
which
I know is
shocker.
The opposite. It's kind of like the opposite of what everyone else liked. I mean, I find it initially, there's a lot of almonds and leathery soft suede in there. There is quite a poopy oud in there, but it's copeable with. It gets more barn stably oud, and the leather comes out more as it dries down. There is something a little bit plasticky about it, but then there's more incense and spices as it dries down. I thought it was the most interesting in terms of what happens as you wear it, that the journey you go on. And I think actually if of any of them, this would be the one that I would purchase.
Okay, so
if I could get a half-price bottle.
Nuit de Feu, I would agree, is certainly the one that takes you on the most interesting journey. It's just that journey.
You don't like the journey.
Yeah, that journey. Journey sort of starts at an interesting place and then just does a sort of handbrake screeching U-turn and heads off to fucking Clown Town with some sort of rather boring, sort of sweet, woodsy, sort of generic sort of bass. I like the incense hit at the top and the sort of the spicy smokiness of it, but as it settled down, it to me it just gets so sanitized.
I completely agree.
I would prefer it kept doing
that,
what was the new Strangelove one? No, the new one,
the burning,
the barbecue one.
Yeah. Fire Within.
Of like that, where I think that's a much better interpretation of the journey of crazy sort of smoke pit heads towards kind of warm vanilla comfort territory, because it's you go from sort of raging chaos to this very sort of comfortable easy vanilla, but the journey takes forever, whereas the Nuit de Feu just seems to do a fucking handbrake turn after about 20 minutes and turn into vanilla glop. I wasn't wild about it, if I'm honest. I mean, I started off thinking I love it, but then 20 minutes later I was like, nah, not for me.
Valid, totally valid.
James, Nuit de Feu?
Yeah, agreed. It's a story of two halves. The first one being quite a creative incense. I don't really like it, to be honest. I don't like either of the halves. But it does have this little castoreum leather, like, dirtiness to the incense accord, which I like, and then it goes to this thing which we've talked about before. It's that vanilla-y base sort of rounding out the incense, which can work in some context. I'm thinking of Ariza Legrand or whatever, those perfumes. There's one of those that's amazing, that's like vanilla and really fizzy labdanum, that you're like, that shouldn't work, but it's really good. This is just too much of an extreme, two ends of the spectrum, like slammed together, and I just don't like it. I don't even like the incense accord, but as from smelling it, I was like, wow, this is actually creative from these. There's only one other one that I'm like, yeah, that's creative. All the other stuff, I'm like, it's either cheat code with loads of musks and making it smell opulent and whatever, or oh yeah, it's well made, but it's by the numbers, and they're all, this is a rose, this is a fucking oud rose, this is a kind of ambery thing, whatever. They all tick those boxes, and so they should, really. That's what people are after. And if you want a line that's diverse, you need all those things. This one is actually pretty creative, but I just don't like it. I didn't like wearing it. I didn't like it when it went down to the vanilla. I'm not that fond of it, to be honest.
Okay. Ben, Nuit de Feu was one of yours. Do you like it? Love it? Is it?
It's my favourite. It's my favourite of them all. Yeah. And the reason I like it, I think, is I like the leather note in it, but I wear this a lot, and I wear it when I want to wear something a bit stanky, but I'm got to be in polite society. So then so the sanitized side of it actually works. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like I'm sort of getting a hint of that kind of incense and leather stank that I would like to wear. But at the same time, I'm not, well, maybe I am offending, judging by you guys, maybe I am offending people. But I thought I was being more polite,
Fliss is offended if you wear l'immensité, so...
I would rather stand next to you wearing this, Ben, than if you were wearing l'immensité, that's for sure.
Well, there we go. Happy days. No, but I like it. It's my favourite. I like everything. I love the bottle. I love everything about it.
Yeah, well, the bottle's a lovely sort of dark green hue. I have this theory that this is part of the desirable collectability of the bottles. It's just part of the thing that makes them so kind of desirable, because they
people on the group have just like shelves of all of them in like rainbow order,
and they have different colours and sort of what's is it balayage, where they sort of the tint sort of whatever.
There's definitely a level of satisfaction with that. It's like one of those like Pantone, chart things. You could have all of those and just be like,
I really need a green one now. I need a green Louis Vuitton bottle.
When I bought the first one I ever bought was Nouveau Monde, and it was 40 quid for half a bottle tester. And this was about 5-6 years ago, maybe. And the reason I bought it was for the bottle. I was like, that looks cool. I'm going to buy that. So, it was just for the bottle because they were those cool kind of medicine-y bottle type things. And again, with Nuit de Feu, I remember when I saw the advert for like they're bringing it out coming soon kind of thing, I almost wanted to like the perfume before I got it because like it's one of the intense ones. So it's like a dark bottle, but it's like if you shine a light through it, it's sort of like emerald green.
Yeah, it is very cool. Handsome. Okay, well, hot on the heels of Nuit de Feu, let me take two together, which I think sort of belong in the same bracket, which is Ombre Nomad and Nouveau Monde. Now I declare I'm absolutely obsessed with both of these perfumes. I think they are phenomenal. And on the one hand, Ombre Nomad is just, hey, it's another fucking boring rose oud, and like, you can go to fucking Dubai and everybody smells like this, and yeah, sure, that's correct. However, not everybody smells like that in Manchester. I fucking love it, and I haven't always loved it. I tried it repeatedly. I think it came out in 2018 or something. I've tried it most years since then, and then just recently, in the last year or two, something just clicked, and I was like, "Yep, I want to fucking smell like that."
According to my social media feed, everybody in Manchester smells of Ombre Nomad because that twat goes up to them in fucking Piccadilly fucking Gardens with all the Spice Heads or wherever the fuck he is, going, all right, mate, do you like Ombre fucking Nomad? Oh, yeah, this costs fucking 10p and it's just as good and all that shit. I fuck it, honestly. I'm so fed up of that shit. And it's always Ombre Nomad. So Ombre Nomad is only popular because you tell me it is, other people tell me, oh, right, this perfume exists. I didn't even know it fucking existed. And I do now, and I've tried it, and in actual fact, it's a very, very good rose oud, but it's actually better. No, it's actually better than that, right? It's actually better than that. Yeah. I'll let you finish, and then maybe I'll fucking say some more nice things about it.
I think it's very easy to be quite dismissive of Ombre Nomad as being a sort of rose oud bore fest, but actually there is again something, and maybe it's another cheat code set of musks or something, or it's the use of a leather accord or what, but something just makes it, for me, absolutely compelling. And I sort of want to get your impressions on both that on Ombre Nomad together, because for me they are sort of two sides of the same Nouveau Monde. They are two sides of the same sort of coin. Nouveau Monde to me has always been like the politer or slightly politer version of Ombre Nomad. It's a different perfume, but I've always found them to be kind of like part of the same sort of heavyweight family, if you like. James, you waxed lyrical about Ombre Nomad and Nouveau Monde, if you like.
Oh, do you know what? I haven't even sprayed the Nouveau Monde at all, so this is my first time trying it.
Okay.
Because I was just so overwhelmed with all these perfumes.
There's a lot of the fuckers.
I've done. In fact, this is the only one that I haven't sprayed. Right. Okay. So I again, a lasting impression. A longer time is required with this one.
Yeah.
Because I might have the same feelings. Instantly, I prefer the top of the Nouveau Monde.
Yeah.
Just generally. Now, they're both great, yeah? Don't get me wrong. If this was like 15 years ago or fucking whatever, and I was smelling this, it reminds me of that Armani one, whatever the Armani Privé, the Rose d'Arab, whatever that
Rose
one was.
d'Araby.
Yeah. So it's got vanilla, it's got that like fake oud, thing. It's got like loads of amber accord, loads of rose. It's really rich. It's lovely, right? It's lovely, but also if you smelled that over the past 15 years since everyone's gone, oh yeah, you know, Arabic perfumes are great. Yeah, they are great, but there's fucking millions of them. But there is a difference. There's an elite of really, really good ones, and then there's all the shit and the clones and whatever. And to be fair to this, because I haven't worn it properly, but I sprayed it on my arm the other day, and I had a whole experience with it. And let me tell you, that fake oud, after about 12 hours, smells like real oud. Right? It smells like real oud, and I was so shocked because I'd already written this is great, but you know, all these perfumes were done fucking years ago. Why is everyone like going on about this? Same with L'Immensité, because it's all coming back around, you know, or things that are good are just always in style, or always somebody can sell them in a bottle and go, oh, I like that bottle, I'm going to buy that, it's Louis Vuitton. But in actual fact, the quality of it is really good, and the fact that it goes from, oh, it's this synthetic oud accord thing, to actually smelling like real oud oil, which it does when it goes to, like, say, when you've had it on for hours and hours, is really impressive. And I was like, actually, this has loads of dimensions and more stuff than meets the eye, and it's not that throwaway, even though I could just dismiss it as, yeah, it smells like loads of those really good rose ouds from like that have been done. This one has more of like
being Nouveau Monde.
Yeah, it's kind of sharper, muskier. It's got like lighter top notes.
Yeah, it's lighter, definitely. Yeah,
but it also has that little stinky, like cheesy, real oud kind of smell to it already, whereas the other one doesn't until later on. This one does almost immediately.
Yeah,
I like them both. I like them both.
I don't know what they're doing to me, these perfumes, but they're doing. There's some sort of black magic thing going on there. I am quite convinced that if you took, that I could tell the difference between Ombre Nomad and almost any dupe. There is something that feels genuinely much higher grade about it, elite level, as you say, than most other things. And I reckon that if you put those things in a plain bottle, I would still want them because of this, just the scent. I think they're both just fucking magic. There's something magic about them. Fliss.
I completely understand what you're saying, because there is something magic about them. I was talking to a perfumer about the LV line and saying, you know, I don't really like them, blah, blah, it's not my thing. And one part of the conversation was actually that all of the formulas are not cheap. And one of the things that Jacques Cavalier does is he has really high amounts of ambretolide. He has very, very high amounts of something else called ambrosinide. And these are, and if you have a high quality ambretolide, they're really not cheap at all. They're expensive to put in a formula, and the amount that he's putting in is massive. And this is one of the things, and you know, these woody bases are one of the things that is so fashionable, but also a lot of people find very, very delicious at the moment. They're very sort of fashionable and of their time and whatever, but they're not cheap. He is building expensive frags.
Yeah. Did you actually enjoy them, Fliss? You can smell that. I thought you might like Nouveau Monde, given the sort of... to me, it's quite saddle leathery.
Yeah. I enjoy them. But I still found them very on the nose. That slightly over neon quality, just not for me. So although I enjoyed both of these, Ombre Nomad and Nouveau Monde, I enjoyed them in terms of testing them for this program.
You wouldn't wear them?
I wouldn't wear them. They're just a bit much for me.
I mean,
but I agree with you that they smell expensive. I mean, I think they're very expensive smelling.
Okay.
But just not my style.
Ben, Ombre Nomad and Nouveau Monde.
Yeah, I like Ombre Nomad. No. Yeah, I like Ombre Nomad. It's fine. I'd stick it somewhere around the middle of what I like. But Nouveau Monde I fucking love. I think it's infinitely better. It's like my second favourite. And I just think it's amazing. I think it's such a good perfume. I think it's quite unique as well. That weird sort of like cocoa, chocolatey mixed with this sort of like quite raw saddle leather, and it is a bit pungent and stinky at first. I really like that. Yeah, I think it's great, and there's nothing wrong with Ombre Nomad, so I like it. It sits easily, comfortably, like top half, probably like middle top half, like kind of like middle of the table kind of stuff, you know, like Crystal Palace, like 12th, 13th every year,
like Man United,
that sort of area. But like, but no, Ombre Nomad I think is infinite.
So, sorry, Ombre Nomad is the one you love. Nouveau Monde is...
Oh, sorry, Nouveau Monde is
the one you love.
No, I'll get confused. I'm getting confused. Nouveau Monde, the one with Sans Rose.
Yeah, okay, right. Yeah, that does sort of make sense. Okay, good. Right, interesting. Fine. So we've got through quite a few now.
I think I'm falling for Nouveau Monde live on the podcast.
Oh, you're falling for it, are you?
I think I am.
Yeah, nice.
They smell like real Odes to me.
Yeah, I put Nouveau Monde and Ombre Nomad certainly somewhere near the top of my list, both of them. Right, I want to get through Symphony and Imagination, and then we'll just take everything else in a sort of as we get to them based on what people reckon. So, Symphony. Kind of superficially boring grapefruit kind of thing that just goes on forever and has some sort of magic sheen to it that just somehow keeps it amazing, even though
which one is
very
that?
feminine.
Sorry?
Symphony.
Oh,
It's a very bright grapefruity sort of thing that just kind of seems to dance along quite happily. Again, painfully simple. It smells painfully simple to me, and yet magic is going on. It kind of burrows under the skin. Every person that I've like sent a sample to or whatever has always come back, and they've always said first impressions was it's quite nice, and then about 3 days later they come back going, yeah, no, that's really fucking grown on me. And there is something about it that just grows. And I don't know what it is, but to me, it's magic. Ben, you own Symphony, I think? And
yes,
it's one you love, like, or not bothered?
I love it, yeah. Exactly like you just described it. Like, I sprayed it the first time and was like, wow, this smells like a pink, kind of slightly juvenile perfume. I don't think I really like this. And then I left it on for the day, and by like the end of the day, I was like, this is fucking great. And then I love it. I think it's really good. I think it's, it is almost like it's deceptively simple. It's so, like, almost minimalist and clean, and but it lingers, and it's just great the whole time. It just gets better as well. It just gets more and more enjoyable. It never stops being fun either, I think. It's quite a fun perfume. Yeah. It doesn't feel like none of these I feel.
It's like
they all feel fun.
It's like
they all feel
dating
fun.
A very young, good-looking, energetic companion. Just fun all the time. Fliss is looking at me like I'm an absolute fucking sleaze.
No. I was just trying to work out where you were going to finish your sentence.
Well, I was trying to finish my sentence in a not completely inappropriate way, but I mean, fuck it.
I know. I can see you doing it.
Yeah, I've made my bed. I shall now have to clamber into it with my young, attractive partner.
But I agree with you, though. They are all like that. But there's more than just a young, attractive partner. They are very, very classy young, attractive partners. They're young, attractive partners that are well put together, that are well groomed. Their slightly vapid stuff between the ears gets on my nerves.
The trophy perfumes.
How I see them.
Let's face it, the trophy.
The trophy perfumes. They are basically the Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriend of perfumes. He famously won't date.
They're not going to help me finish the crossword on a Sunday.
No, and once they're 25, he throws them out and sort of replaces them with someone 2 years younger. But that's essentially what this is in a perfume. I think it's a little bit of Cavalier magic that takes something incredibly simple and makes it dance around and just seem lovely.
I really right. What instantly, because there's so many like people, because I think I wrote a review for this, and I looked at some of the other reviews, and they were all going, yeah, it's just grapefruit and ginger, grapefruit, and I'm like, did you really get grapefruit like straight away from that? Like, it's not your typical grapefruit. I think it's more along the lines of, I think it's got like a little white floral thing to it, like jasmine, but it's not. It's like, it's a little bit like, it reminds me slightly of Batucada. It's that kind of like fun, like citrus, but it's got a little bit of white floral.
I mean, Batucada is just this fantastically, so much more complex and interesting and less in your face.
Okay.
Batucada is like Batucada is like your French girlfriend, your French Parisian girlfriend who's gone down to the south of France for the.
Is it really a Brazilian girlfriend?
This is someone on Miami Beach.
Are all these perfumes now girlfriends of different descriptions?
Yes, they are. They really are.
Well, I suppose do you know what? Interesting, though. I suppose there might be something to that, because I think the line is rather squarely aimed at men. Even though they're mostly unisex, some of them are marketed as women's perfumes, but I think a lot of them are aimed directly at men.
So the first line, like long ago when they first came out, the first 6 perfumes were all feminine perfumes, supposedly, and the second 6 were all masculine, and they had different LV. The first ones were silver and the second ones were gold, and that's how you differentiate between like what they were supposedly masculine and feminine. But now I think then they just went off on like a unisex kind of like vibe after that. But the first 2 lines were supposedly like all female and all male. But yeah, I agree. I think they all have a kind of slightly feminine edge to them, but really you can wear it.
Okay. No, I think they're largely unisex, marketed at men, but
there's a lot that are like all the citrus ones,
immensity, like imagination, definitely. Although that said, people have told me that both
Pacific Chill, Orage, Sur La Route, I would say all of those are all like very masculine.
And they do citrus really well, I have to say. And the citrus lasts in a way that it's not lasting in a lot of other perfumes. There's one thing I did notice was that all of those citrus ones that we tried, the citrus top is so bright, slightly too bright for me, but it is so bright and it doesn't go away. It's not burning off in the heat like a lot of cologne citruses. They're doing something right with that citrus.
The reason why that is because, again, loaded to the fucking hilt with musks. This is another one that is just basically, there's a real like fluffy like warmth underneath that thing. So a lot of the time when people try and do like fresh things, they'll be like make it really woody and then the citrus sort of goes away. This is very much like, because there's nowhere to hide with this really. It is just like the top. It lasts for so long, but ultimately it dries down to like a extremely musky like skin thing, but that's got to be there to maintain that top for as long as it does. I really like it. I mean, I like say it's a bit of a cheat, but I do like it.
Okay, so imagination. I want to get your thoughts on imagination, because that's super popular in a way that perhaps L'Immensité, I can understand is quite boring. I thought imagination is rather deserving of its popularity. It is, to me, probably the natural successor to a progression that goes something like was it the Chanel Edition Blanche, the Allure Edition Blanche. So Allure Edition Blanche, and then there's Xerjoff Ouden, and then Ouden Overdose, and then, you know, this Imagination is kind of like the perfection of that slightly lemon cheesecakey sort of blue thing. And I think it's fucking magic stuff. It manages to just be fizzy and fresh and blue and amazing. And Fliss, I imagine you hate it.
I don't hate it, actually. I don't really get that blueness. I don't get too much blueness. I get a lot of different citrus. It's like, it's absolutely loaded with like 100 different types of citrus and some neroli in there as well. And, you know, I get it. And there's so much citrus that I find that a little bit headache inducing, but I don't get that much blueness at all. And I would say that this could be a feminine citrus.
Really?
It's quite, I still feel it's quite aquatic. I don't get that blueness at all.
Interesting.
That said, it's so on the nose. It's like, boof. It's like just being someone just throwing lemons at you or throwing bergamot at you until you fall off the cliff.
Have some lemon cheesecake.
Get
in that fucking ocean.
You're right about that fluffy. There is a fluffy creaminess to it all as well. It's not harsh.
It is quite creamy. I think that's a good word for it. James, imagination?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, I've only just, I hadn't sprayed this one either because I just like primed it then. I was like, oh shit, I haven't even tried this one. So I haven't worn it or anything, but I'll tell you now, this is like a really modern take on a cologne. Basically, it's like white florals. It's a little bit tea-y, sort of tea citrus.
Yes, yeah, there's definitely
love
definitely
it.
tea.
I absolutely love it. Just instantly now, smelling it, I'm like just the right amount of like white florals. Usually I go, oh, it's not like waxy enough or it hasn't got the indolic thing. I don't care with fragrances like this. And also you can tell like how sort of modern and like striking and like clear and sort of like crystal clear it is. I can't wait to wear it. I really like it a lot. Yeah, I think it's really good.
I think it's quite brilliant. Ben, imagination, a yes or a no?
I really like it. It's spoiled somewhat for me in that it sits on like so much crossover with Sur La Route, and I like Sur La Route a lot more. And so I feel like they just like when I would in that situation where I think, oh, I'll pick up imagination, I'll then just think, yeah, but why would I do that when I've got celery there? I enjoy it so much more. And so it gets a bit ruined, but it's not because it's a bad perfume. So I love it. I think it's great. And I agree with everything you guys are saying about it, but I just prefer Sur La Route more, and that ruins it for me. But that's just taking it out of context and individually, I think is a great perfume. Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, we've blitzed through a multitude of them, but there's quite a few we haven't got to. So, James, talk to me quickly about Pacific Chill, because you wore it twice, which I was surprised by.
Yeah. Again, quite simple stuff. I did wear it twice, but I've got to say it's not as formidable in terms of base and lasting power for me as some of these other ones, like the musky ones that I did wear, that I really liked, Symphony and Stellar Times. It's nowhere near on that like level, but for a bit of a fresh, and bear in mind I think I was like grafting outside on the days that I wore them or something. I was really like, so, and they did last well, but again, it wasn't really a hugely, long lasting, enjoyable experience. But when I sprayed them on, I was like, lovely for an hour or so. And then to be honest, they didn't have much. So it didn't have much substance after that point, but yeah, it's a lovely like citrusy thing from what I can remember. And again, you just pick like, oh, they're all kind of described the same way, but they're quite different.
Well, it's quite.
This was my favourite of all the citrus ones.
It was your favourite, was it?
Of all of the citrus ones,
it
just felt lighter and. Pardon?
It's quite minty, so it's got a sort of minty, slightly like vegetal. I think it's meant to be inspired by these kind of green health food drinks in LA that taste like fucking, I don't know, blended broccoli and mint or some bullshit. But it's got that sort of slightly vegetal minty quality to it. I quite liked it, but you're dead right, James. In terms of lasting power, it's actually a bit of a Feebleton. I think the only one that was worse for me performance-wise was Sun Song, which was just a clean neroli, which is, it was nice, but quite dull, really. I thought, in the great scheme of things. I don't know. Did anyone else try Sun Song?
Just having a look. Yeah,
I didn't like it that much. It was a bit. It had a bit of
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got expensive cleaning. Opens up like an expensive quick cleaning product.
I thought it was the worst one out of all those fresh ones, to be honest. Considering it's so revered, I thought it was not on the level of some of these other ones.
Okay, so what have we not? We've not talked about really Sur La Route, Les Sables Roses, Spell on You, Orage, or Matière Noire. We've got only about 3 minutes left. So, Ben, you want to say?
Spell on You is just like Messier, but they've just pumped Chanel for what Messier smells like, and then run a pink neon crayon over the whole thing.
Right. I quite liked it. But yeah. Ben, you were going to say something.
Matière Noire is a brilliant, dark red berries and rose kind of thing. I like that one. I think it's really underrated, heavily underrated.
I thought Matière Noire was, is it Matière Noire? Now I have to check my notes. I think Matière Noire is the one that I thought smelled like extremely old woman perfume.
No, that's Spell on You. You hated Spell on You.
Spell on You.
Yes.
Spell on You. Yeah. Right, yeah, that's the one I hated. You can't stand it
because it smells kind of very much your purple, florals, violet, sort of lilac.
It's a violet lipstick rose, but they've just ripped off Messier. They really have.
Yeah.
Messier, and then they've just
crossed that one off the list.
Matière Noire is like a kind of darker berry thing that's sort of like berries and red florals and roses and stuff. And I just
for me,
really underrated, like black currant, a bit of leather.
Matière Noire was the most creative one out of all of these that I tried. It's the most I've not really smelled anything like this before. It's a kind of, that sort of fruity Damascene rose. But it's a closer to more like classical perfumes than this. It's the least neon out of all of them, but it still has a clearness, still fits in with the brand and everything. It was probably close to one of my favorite ones, just because I was okay, this line's actually got something that's creative and interesting, and I really liked it. So
I liked the dry down. I thought when I first sprayed it, I thought it was very, very on the nose. What I found interesting of it was that the aquatic notes made it smell like a salty marine rose, which is something that you don't smell at all.
I do know the one. Yes, I did like that.
And it became salty rose.
Yes.
What? And it kind of fucked with my head for a little bit.
I like that.
And then the dry down, actually I found that the aquatic bubble was actually really rather nice and warm.
Yes.
And I didn't hate it.
Salty rose is good. Well, didn't hate it is high praise indeed from you. Right. So look, we're sort of out of time. I want to get just quick one or two that you would shout out as loves, one or two that you would shout out as hates, and anything else you want to say very quickly. For me, I'm going to say my loves are, there's quite a few. So Ombre Nomad, Nouveau Monde, Symphony, Stellar Times. I love all of those. And Imagination. I absolutely could not stand, is it Spell on You? Yeah. And I found L'Immensité is just boring. Pacific Chill irritated me after a bit, so that was my sort of take on them overall. But overall, I think I love them. And if we're doing House Cup and saying, well, which is the absolute one you'd pick, I feel like probably Nouveau Monde would be the one that I'd pick, just as a sort of, the one to rule them all. Not sure I could, but that's the one I'd go for. James, loves, hates, thoughts?
Yes. Again, without having worn Nouveau Monde and just kind of sort of, like I say, fallen for it live on air, I would say yes, I do. Probably would put that one up there. Stellar Times, as I said, is just, a bit of a musky affair, and I like the creativity of Matier Noir. So they're my sort of three that I would pick. But generally speaking, I didn't really hate any of them, and I thought in general they're all right.
Does that surprise you that you didn't hate any of them?
No, not really, because I do like modern, like, perfumery. Like, I do. I like
modern toss.
Yeah, I do. It's just the way it is. I like that they're all, like, technically proficient, very good. Probably more than meets the eye. I will enjoy wearing these over time, and maybe some of my opinions will change. I don't know, but just on very first impressions, not really having much time to go through them. I didn't want to wear them because I don't want to talk about them in the full 14. I want to experience them, and then probably ongoing I'll be talking about, and things might change. I might go, oh my god, that Orage is like fucking unbelievable, or whatever. But
I want to get your experience when you've had a chance to wear Imagination. I want to know what you make of it, because I think Imagination, I think is a kind of seminal Louis Vuitton type perfume. It sort of, in some ways, it's the archetype for a lot of the range. Not stylistically, but I just think in terms of what it does. Fliss, I'm being shouted.
I think that probably I'm not the person to say which ones I loved and which ones I hated, because you probably...
This is a house cup. Pick one.
Matier Noir.
Okay.
But I mean, I think they all smell of money, but there's something that feels
crass.
Inherently a little bit crass for me. And so, yeah.
Fuck them.
Right.
Yeah.
Ben.
Nuit de Feu would be like probably my favourite, but it would be a toss-up between Nuit de Feu and Nouveau Monde. But because you guys picked Nouveau Monde, that makes that simple. So yeah, Nuit de Feu, Nouveau Monde, Symphony are probably my favourites. But to be honest, they all stack heavily on the like side of it. There's only one or two that I dislike. There's only one or two that I dislike. It's very heavily stacked on the love side of things.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, it's been a riot. Nice to get through them so quickly. Let's wrap it up. Let's call it a large success, an amazing Louis Vuitton shaped success. Thank you. We'll be back in about 2 weeks with a brand new, exciting Les Oderants content. Until then, we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.